Hi, welcome back guys. This is your friend, the What If Guy, back with another fanfiction. This is the first part of What If Issei was the son of Great Red. Now before starting, please give this video a like, and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Now let's get into the fanfic. The dimensional gap, where humans nor the supernatural could survive, where Great Red, true red dragon god emperor freely fly and live, but today is the different situation. He is in pain. After the battle against various entities and infinite dragon god, Issei, he is starting to radiate too much power, even higher than the two heavenly dragon combined. Suddenly an idea gets stuck in his mind: why not create a child? A son who inherits his power, legacy, also a dragon god, since he will the father of the son. He was alone from the beginning, of course. Issei came but only to fight and try to kick him out or to kill him. He have no family. Sometimes he thought how it's feel to have a family. Now he have a chance to have one. Of course it's just his son, but son no less. A large red dragon roared in pain and excitement as its body was enveloped in a crimson sheet of pure, vast, godly energy aura. He also tried to add as much energy as he can. The aura then began to construct into a baby boy. The boy has crimson hair. His eyes were closed. Then he opened his eyes. His eyes were gold just like his father. His facial expressed calm yet destructive and very dominating. When the boy saw his father, he just smiled and tried to touch him, which greatly astonished his father. It is the first time someone is trying to show affection towards him. He want to feel it more, and he already know what to do. The Great Red suddenly changed his size. Now he is in his human form, just to hold his hatching in his arms. "Hey there, my little dragon god," said the father with a fatherly smile, and released his little bit aura to make his little hatching more comfortable and make him warm. The boy just tried to cuddle him, and that brought a smile on his father's face. "Well, my hatching, it's time to give you a name, huh? How about Issei?" "Issei, I'll call you Issei." "How's that sound, my hatching?" asked Great Red. To his surprise, the boy released his power that is pure crimson, little bit different from his father, but a part of red no less. "I see you like the name, don't you?" said Great Red while patting his hatching still in his human form. Suddenly a realization hit him that he could not leave the dimensional gap for a long period of time, also cannot give his son a love of a mother and a full family affection. Surely he loves and cares about him above all, but he also wanted to give his son a love of a complete family. Then he was starting to find an ideal foster family for his son. First he checked supernatural beings and then found that they would have turned his son just a weapon without any emotion. He rejected the idea that moment without giving any thinking. Then he looked at humans and surely they were weak, but when come to love, affection, family bonding, they were the best. So it's final, he would send his son to human world for his childhood while keeping an eye on him from dimensional gap. But he could not just send his hatching without a gift and a good family. So he first started to find a good family for his son. Hayadu household. Mr. Hayadu may be the owner of the Hayadu Corporation, but today the news doctor told him totally broke him. Flashback begin. "Mr. Hayadu?" asked the doctor to a brown hair man. "Why, yes doctor, is my wife all right? She brought here an hour ago?" asked a nervous man. "Mr. Hayadu, well, I have a bad news for you. Why? You see, your wife condition is pretty bad. Also she have a miscarriage, and her internal origin damaged too. So I think she could not have child at its own," said doctor, making a sad expressions with showing sympathy. Just by hearing it broke his heart, but he couldn't left his wife. He loved her. No, he loved her dearly. "Can I meet my wife, doctor?" asked Mr. Hayadu. Flashback ends. He entered the room where was his wife, his crimson hair, tears running through her face. Just seeing her in that situation break his heart more. "Hey honey, are you okay?" asked Mr. Hayadu. "How could I cannot become a mother. How could I be okay?" sobbed Mrs. Hayadu, hugging her husband. "Hitomi, told me we can adopt a child, raise him as ours, you know," said Kin while hugging his wife tighter and plant a kiss on her forehead. Hitomi just smiled and nodded. That's all what Kin needed. The dimensional gap. The Great Red saw the whole incident, couldn't help but pity on that family, and decided to give his son to Hayadu so that his son has a good childhood. Now he have to give his son a birth gift. After thinking a lot, what would be better to give his son the boosted gear. Now he started to looking for it, and he found out soon just his current host about to pass away, and boosted gear switched the host. He forcefully blocked it, the whole process of switching host, and took boosted gear from the current host under his wing, also healing and wiping the memory about the boosted gear from the host. "Looks like your gift arrived, my son," said Great Red, to which little Issei just yawned cutely. One day later, human realm. We could see Kai and Hitomi at shrine praying. When they just about to leave, the Hayadu couple paused in their steps as they heard something strange. "Ahu, yuhu." The Hayadu couple saw an infant crying on the floor. "A baby," Kai said with a thunderstruck look on his face. Something inside of Hitomi was immediately attracted to the small baby boy as she made her way towards him. Hitomi walked closer to the infant, and her brown eyes softened. A baby with crimson hair struggling to lift himself off the floor while looking towards her. The infant has crimson hair just like her, but also have golden eyes like her husband. The perfect child that she dreamt about having, one with her crimson hair color and her husband's golden eyes. She gently picked up the baby and starting to look the baby more closely. The infant was absolutely adorable and so pure. "Did someone leave him here?" said a curious husband at his wife's behavior. "Whatever he is, we can't let the baby stay here," Hitomi said as she wrapped the baby in her kimono. Even though this wasn't her true child, she felt a strong emotional connection with the baby. Kai walked over to look at the baby, and he rubbed his head in puzzlement. It's strange. It looks like he could be our son, Hitomi said Kai. The Hayatu couple looked around the shrine in hope of trying to find who the infant belonged to. But as they looked around more, they didn't find anyone in sight. The couple sighed as she looked back at the baby. Someone left him here. Should we take him home with us? Asked Hitomi nervously. Kai tilted his head, and he looked closer at the infant. Well, it's like I said. He looks just like us. That's strange. The Hayatus looked at each other, and then they looked back at the infant. What should we name him? Kai asked. Eyes. We'll call him Issei, said Hitomi. Kai nodded again. Hitomi smiled warmly at the newly named infant, and she couldn't stop herself and softly touched the baby's cheek, increasing her maternal feelings towards Issei. Issei, who was immensely enjoying the warmth, slowly opened his eyes and looked into the eyes of his mother, making Hitomi giggle at her Sachai curious eyes. I didn't expect to have a child of my own, Hitomi thought as her brown eyes were looking into Issei's own golden eyes. If I'm going to be a mother, I should at least try to be the best at it. Hitomi thought as she saw her baby yawn and nestle himself in her neck. She completely lost the will of being a mother after the incident. She was completely heartbroken even after her husband mentioned or suggested to adopt a baby. She didn't know how to feel about it. But now having a baby in her arms was making her heart in pure bliss. She was so lost in her thought that she was completely missing the smiling face of her husband. That's right. My cute little eyes, my Sachai. You know, honey, it does suit you, Kai said with a small smile as he saw the happy smile on Hitomi her face when she looked at the sleeping baby in her arms. The dimensional gap. Great Red watched the whole scene and couldn't help but chuckled, happy for his son's future. Good luck, son. Have a happy childhood. I promise I'll be always there if you need me, my son promised Great Red while turning back to his dragon form. 1 year later. It's been a year since little Issei adopted into Hayatu family. Mr. Hayatu couldn't believe and wonder how happy and cheerful their house become after Issei introduced in their life. He could simply say his son now, one the irreplaceable person in their life. Little Issei was currently in his mother's arm, happily playing with his mother crimson hair. He loves to play with it, and to which his mother didn't mind. Why would she? Actually, she loved it. And why wouldn't she? She took it as Issei is showing his affection towards her. To her, her little Issei has everything that she wanted in her child. But above all, the maternal feeling she developed for Issei was completely different level from the first time she held her Sachai. Hitomi always wanted to be a mother, but some circumstances always get better of her. She had completely given up the hope of having a baby until they found Issei at shrine, no less. According to her household servants, Kami-sama herself blessed them with the child, which even she can't disagree with. After all, she indeed found her Sachai at the shrine. And the crimson hair of her Sachai matches her own. No doubt everyone think that he is her son, and she intended to keep it that way. And the golden eyes of Issei matches with her husband, much to her delight. Anyone who didn't know about Issei's origin will thought Issei is her and Kai's son. A son they always wanted. Just 1 year has passed and little Issei already become the apple of her eyes. Issei completes her little family, her little perfect family. She didn't know as well as want to think about it if Issei didn't come to their life. Whenever she saw sleeping face of her little Sachai, she always made a small prayer to Kami for granting such a little bundle of joy in their life. Kai didn't know he'll start caring for Issei this much. At first, he agreed immediately to adopt Issei when he first saw how Issei made a depressed Hitomi back to her original self, not to mention her wife became more cheerful, motherly self day by day. It looks like little Issei took away the saddened part of Hitomi completely and gave her the happiness she always wanted. And as the time went on, he became closer and closer to his son. Little Issei loved the color of crimson. His own color of hair is crimson. Currently his mother was busy to get dressed as little Issei. Today was his birthday after all, since the day reminded them how they met their bundle of joy. And when they called their family doctor to check Issei just after bringing him to their house, the doctor told them that Issei is just some hours old. Kai declared that they will celebrate that day as their son's birthday, which brought another soft smile on Hitomi's face. Entire Hayatu household was preparing to celebrate their young master's first birthday. Yeah, entire household. They saddened when they heard Mrs. Hayatu miscarriage. It all changes when Kai and Hitomi brought little Issei issue in the house. Whenever they thought about little Issei or young master, they couldn't help but starting to fall in love that little bundle of joy. Who won't? After all, he was the most adorable thing they ever seen. And it couldn't help when he was also radiating the same dragonic warm energy. The very same energy that his father radiated to make him calm and comfortable when he was born. Hitomi still remember the day when she and her husband brought little Issei to their home that brought a smile on her face. Flashback begin. Hayatu couple just walked inside of their mansion. Suddenly 2 servants of their household appear in front of them. Welcome, Kin-sama, Hitomi-sama said one of them, but then their eyes were widened in shock as they saw Hitomi was holding a little child in her arms, gazing at the said child lovingly. They wondered who the child was, and his crimson hair was same as hers. It just shocked them all the bit more. Hitomi-sama, who is that child? They asked in a stunned, curious voice, almost in same time pointing at little Issei, and Hitomi gently rubbed his cheek, showing her affection towards the baby. The warmth from the contact when Hitomi gentle rubbed his cheek caused the baby to wake up. Who the baby is waking up, Ken, as he saw the baby slowly blinking and yawned cutely. The servants smiled at the scene but were soon surprised once again when they saw the golden eyes of the baby. Golden eyes, one of the servants said in a surprised tone, and both of them now seeing the eyes of the baby focused on Hitomi's. Shino, we just adopted him, said Kin while looking at his wife's happy face. Both of them just looked at baby and gasped as they saw his deep beautiful gold eyes staring at them curiously. They saw him staring at them. They just resisted the urge to yell Kawaii and glomp him to death at his cute little adorable face. He is our new young master, Kin-sama. Hitomi-sama, asked one of them in surprise and excitement. Yes, he is, replied Hitomi softly, whose eyes still on the little eyes. Both of them just smiled as they saw the Hitomi hiring in her original self, smiling warmly. It saddened an entire household when Hitomi became depressed after her miscarriage. Forgive me, Kin-sama, but where do you find him? Asked another servant curiously. And then, Kin told them entire story how they find him, much to their shock which soon replaced by happy smile. What will he be named? Master asked first servant after hearing full story of their soon-to-be young master. We named him Issei Hayaru. Shinan-san, replied Kin as he watched the interaction between his wife and son and looked back towards the servant and spoke. Now go give a call to the family doctor and asked him to come as soon as possible and tell Sai-san to get ready a room for my son. And Alpha, go get some milk for the baby, said, order Kin. Hi, both exclaimed in unison and went to do their respective work as it was ordered. Flashbacks ends. As she was finished dressing her eyes and feed some milk, there was a knock in her bedroom door. Come in, said Hitomi as she gently laid eyes on the bed. Hitomi-sama, your sister and her daughter just arrived and waiting for you, said one of the servant of the house. Tell them to come here. I think we have an hour to get party started, asked Hitomi while watching her baby's sleeping face. Hi, said the servant and left the room. 5 minutes later, one figure entered the room while holding a baby girl in her arms. The said figure had just looked like Hitomi, but she had purple hair with a ponytail. The said baby girl had blonde hair. She was peacefully sleeping in her mother's arms. Hey Ni-chan, it's been a while, said the purple hair woman cheerfully yet carefully to not awake her little baby girl. Yes it is. Rose-chan, is little Kurumi-chan sleeping? Asked Hitomi while curiously looking at a baby girl in Rose's arms. Yes she is. How's little eyes doing? Asked Rose before laying her daughter on the bed next to little eyes. As always, making everyone in house happy, replied Hitomi as she recalled just after little Issei came into Hayaru family. Everyone in house could attract to him. The cuteness he displayed was more than enough to attract anyone. Both sisters started to taking about different stuff, but little Kurumi soon took their attention as she yawned cutely, and suddenly little Kurumi opened her eyes as she felt warm sensation near her, and she looked at the source where the warm sensation coming from and found a little Issei was laying next to her. The next she did that left their mother with surprised and stunned face. She turned around and cuddled eyes and closed her eyes and drift off to her precious sleep. Both ladies just see the scene with a surprised face and couldn't help and giggled. My little Kurumi already has a crush, said Hitomi as she saw her niece cuddle to her son. Well, actually they look adorable together. Her baby boy already started to attract girls. They look good together, said Rose as she saw her daughter now happily cuddling her little nephew. Yeah they are, said Hitomi softly. Hitomi looked teased them for a while and turned around to look Rose. As soon as she saw Rose's face, she smirked. My already starting to matchmaking, how Rosie-chan teased Hitomi before giggling. Rose pouted and said with a fake angry expressions, why not Ni-chan, they aren't related. Rose reminded her one-chan why she didn't have any problem if her daughter and nephew get together in future. Hitomi thought for a while and said, well, only if both have feeling for each other. The dimensional gap. Meanwhile, in dimensional gap, a certain large red dragon also planning to visit his son at his first birthday. He always watch over his son from the gap, but when he saw the whole certain incident he just chuckled. So you already start to making your harem. A son, thought Great Red. Ugh, I can't even visit you, son, I might scare you, mumbled Great Red. Soon, you'll awake, D-Drag-chan, and then I could visit you freely by entering your mindscape. Thought Great Red as he thought of the godfather of his little dragon god. He did a great work by placing you under the care of Hayaru. In Hunan realm, party was over. At night little Issei was playing with his parents. Issei put his hands to the ground and stood up with shaking legs as he took a step towards Hitomi, and her eyes widened. Kai gasped as he got to his feet and his hands over his mouth as he saw Issei take his first step. Hitomi's eyes watered as she saw him take his first step, and she saw him take another and saw he was watching her sadly and was confused but urged for him to come to her. Come on, Eyes-chan, sniff, just a bit more sniff. Come to Ka-chan, sob, come here my Sachai, she said between her sob and Eyes took 6 more steps and stumbled as she grabbed her in his arms before he fell down and saw him gazing at her curiously. He put his little hand on her cheek and wiped the tear away, and her eyes widened as she understood why he looked sad after his first step and embraced him tightly to her chest, embracing him in her tight hug like he is her lifeline. Oh God, Eyes-chan, you walked your first step and you walked so much just because you thought I was crying, Eyes-chan said, Hitomi said softly as she kissed him on the nose as he scrunched his face a bit, and she giggled. Kai saw this and couldn't help but his eyes also watered. Seems like he is growing up, said Kai before chuckled. Time skip, 2 years. Issei was 3 years old now. What surprised his parents was, unlike other children, Issei's growth was unbelievably reaching another height. He already learned how to talk, walk, heck he even learned how to write made his parents speechless. They knew Issei was a little bit different from the others, but seeing accomplishing and outmastering other child of his own age made the proud on their little eyes. Hayato couple was now discussing about future of his son. So it's final, we'll homeschool our Issei-chan, said Kai Hayato to his wife, much to her delight as she didn't want to leave Issei even just for a minute. That's right, we'll homeschool him, said Hitomi with a determined face, while looking towards the children and spoke again, we'll easily get best tutors for our baby boy. And that wasn't any issue, Hitomi-chan replied Kin while looking at her with a smile, getting a curious face of his wife. To which he just chuckled and spoke again to satisfy his wife's curiosity. Our Issei-chan is growing, it's felt like yesterday when we hold him first time, paused Kin as he looked at his son who was now playing with Kurumi-chan, then continue, and now today. It's been 3 years, but before Hitomi could reply, a third voice called the children, catching their attention too. Issei and Kurumi become good friends over last 3 years, currently both of them playing at their garden. Hey eyes, Kurumi over here, said a beautiful purple hair woman. Both kids looked towards the source of the voice. Eyes found as Oba-chan was standing and waving her hands. Both children run to her as fast as their tiny leg could and tackled her in three-way hug. Rose just giggled and returned the hug. Over past 3 years she became closer to both the children. Oba-chan, you are here, said overexcited Eyes. My aren't you overexcited today, my cute little nephew? Close your eyes, said Rose. Eyes nodded and closed his eyes. When he opened his eyes he was gifted a crimson-colored dragon. He took it and gave a peek on her Oba-chan cheek while thanking her for the gift and ran towards his parents. Eyes, don't run like that, you can hurt yourself, said his father. Tao-san, look what Oba-chan gave me, said Eyes while showing his birthday present. It always brought a smile to his parents' face when they saw Eyes always enjoy every little thing in his life. Later that night, dream world Eyes was peacefully sleeping in his bed. Suddenly his dream world changed. There is completely blank, completely dark, and then a bright light surround the entire place. When the light down, there is a large red dragon appeared from nowhere. The dragon looked at the boy, couldn't help but wonder how this little boy awakened him in such a young age. To end his curiosity he just asked the boy, "Who are you, boy? Awaken me in such a young age," said D-Drag very curiously. Issei doesn't know what he gotten himself into. He just staring at large red dragon. He loved dragon, he loved to play with them. When he first asked his parents to buy him a dragon after he saw one in anime, his father simply told him dragon do not exist, AMD, it's just an animated program. And the very next day his mother bought a large U which looks like a dragon, which color was surprisingly crimson. And here, he was standing in front of a large red dragon. My name is Issei Hayato. Who are you? Where am I now? Are you going to eat me? Said Issei. To D-Drag's surprise he didn't seem too scared while asking questions. D-Drag just laughed and said, relax kid, I'm not going to eat you. Anyway, my name is D-Drag, the Red Dragon Emperor. We are in your mindscape now, answer me boy, who are you really? But before Issei could say anything there was another bright flash, brighter than the previous one, which soon involved entire place, and then they heard a voice before the light down. Said the voice. Both of them looked towards the source of the voice. D-Drag was feeling a familiar voice and energy signatures, but he couldn't place whom it belongs to. When they looked at the source of the voice after light down, what they saw was shocked them. There is large red dragon larger than the D-Drag. Issei was looking at the dragon with odd face, but he was also sensing a deep bond towards the dragon, but he didn't know what was it. Though D-Drag has another story. I imp impossible. W, what are you doing here? And what do you mean you can answer that for him? Asked D-Drag with a surprised look. He never thought he will meet Great Red here, of all places. What I'm doing here? Well, I'm answering your damn question for him, of course. After all, he is mine son. What? What did you say? What do you mean by mine son? Issei nearly yelled. Couldn't believe what was the dragon saying. It is what I mean, I'm your true father, my son, replied Great Red, and another light cover entire body of Great Red, and when the light down, Great Red could be seen in his human form. True father. My father name is Kin Hayato. If you mean you are my father, then did you abandon me? Issei asked slowly as he places all pieces together, making Great Red eyes widened. His son think that he abandoned him? Of course not. I'll never do that. I love you, my son. You see, when you born I have to send you to human world, my son, for your better childhood. I actually do not have wife, so no one give you motherly love as well in dimensional gap. ULLB bored. Tell me, did you enjoy your time with Hayato? This time Issei's eyes widened and he nodded and then spoke. Yes, I enjoyed it, Anno. You still didn't give in your name. As expected. My name is True Red Dragon God Emperor. Great Red, my son. Great Red dramatically introduced himself, getting a sweat up from D-Drag as he never thought he will see the Great Red acting like a child, much becoming a father. Our Red Tao-chan. Can I call you that? Wait, a dragon god means I'm a dragon too? Asked Issei, getting a heartily laughs from his father. Said Great Red, and he looked at his loon before embrace him in right hug. Whispered Great Red in his son's ear. Am I a dragon god? A god? Exclaimed Issei, breaking the hug. Great Red looked at him with a loving gaze and nodded. Indeed, you are my cute little dragon god. D-Drag-chan, are you still there? Asked Great Red. D-Drag couldn't help but astonished at his luck to have Great Red's son as his host, but he doesn't know it was Great Red to put boosted gear inside Issei. Honestly, replied D-Drag. Ahaha, consider yourself lucky D-Drag-chan anyway Issei. D-Drag will teach about the theoretical knowledge about our world. Okay my little dragon god. Teased Great Red, getting a irritate DDRAIG. But he was soft when he was talking to his little dragon god. Oh, okay, are you strong Red Tao-chan? Asked Issei nervously. Both dragons started laughing when they heard Issei's question, getting an angry pout from Issei. You both are big meanie said Issei, still having his pout. Great Red felt uncontrollable when he saw the angry pout from his son and quickly changed the subject by speaking. Said Great Red he completely agreed the idea of getting D-Drag angry than getting his son angry on him. His son is more important after all. Oh I thought, Gomen Issei. Tao-chan apologized Issei. But D-Drag-chan is a big meanie stated Issei. Great Red simply nodded, much to D-Drag irritation. Seeing himself at the corner, D-Drag tried to explain himself only to interrupted by Great Red. So cool. Can you teach me daddy? I'll become strong too. ULLC stated Issei. Indeed you're my little dragon god but first you have start training physically when you reach suitable age for now we'll teach you how to control your power and magical stuff. Isn't it right D-Drag? Of course I'd look forward to so you are going to stay here. Of course not D-Drag-chan I'll be at my dimensional gap. When my little dragon god come here I'll come too. He is the only one who call me that and get away with it D-Drag thought at suffix of his name Great Red is using for him. Well eyes you are going to awaken soon come back here every night so we can train little bit. I'm going to awake. Oh but I want to spend more time here said Issei with a pout. That is correct eyes and don't tell anyone about this development okay. My little dragon god and if you need something you can always ask me okay. Anything daddy? Playfully asked Issei. Anything, replied Great Red with thinking even for once. Soon eyes faded away from his dream world, leaving Great Red and D-Drag-chan alone to talk. Is it? Asked Great Red. D-Drag simply nodded. Why can't I? He is mine son my little dragon god. D-Drag no he can't wanna argue with Great Red he just dropped the topic. Line break, asterisk 1 year later asterisk. Currently Eyes was playing with Kurumi and Irina. Irina and her family moved near his house 2 years ago. Let's just say they become close friend too fast. Hey, Eyes-chan which type of girl you need as your wife asked Irina very shyly. Just hearing that Kurumi stare at Eyes, showing she was interested in his answer as well. I didn't decided yet Iri-chan said Eyes simply. Well it's getting late and almost dark. We should return back to our houses said Eyes while looking at sky. Yeah you are right said Irina. Time skip, asterisk 1 year asterisk. Eyes just awoke from his sleep or you can say from his training. He continually trained in his dream world with his father and D-Drag-chan. Much to D-Drag irritation even he started to call him that. But can he stop him or scold him in front of his father? He won't dare. Issei couldn't help but remember the day Irina left the town a week ago why'd she have to? Flashback begin. Hey Issei can I talk to you something important? Irina asked. But Eyes can see the sadness in her voice. What's wrong Iri-chan? Issei asked politely. We are moving Tamaro said Irina. She almost cried. And embraced him in a tight hug. Issei froze just by hearing that what could he say one of his childhood friend just leaving him. He didn't realize but tears started running down his face. Irina saw this and hugged him tighter. Eyes realized that and hugged her tighter. Promise you'll return Irina asked Eyes still hugging her. Issei said Irina, hugging him tighter too. Pinky promise? Asked, demanded Issei with an authority voice. Pinky promise Eyes-chan said Irina as he brushed away her tears. Flashback ends. Remembering that memory brought a smile on his face. Time skip, later that evening. Issei came to the park to play. He used to come here with his friend Irina, but he moved away to another country a week ago, so he came to make new friends to play with. It was when he was about to join the other kids in the park in a game of tag that he spotted the strange girl on her own. She was a cute little girl with long straight black hair down to her hips. Her dark gray eyes looked at him curiously. She was dressed in a black Lolita dress with a purple ribbon on her back. The most stunning thing about her was her ears. Unlike normal ears, hers had pointed tips like elves. He walked closer and tried to talk to her. Who are you? The girl remained unmoving, looking at him shyly. She didn't know why she acted this way. But it started a year ago when she found a warm aura that intrigued her. She started to watch, stalk him. And now she is in front of him. The closer she is the warm she feel. That she even didn't feel in silence. I am Off-Ice said the cute little girl. Off-Ice, even with his very limited knowledge of languages, he could tell it wasn't Japanese. Hell, she didn't even look Japanese. Issei blushed just by her presence and seeing that Off-Ice's cheeks become pink. My name is Issei. You can call me Eyes. Off-Ice-chan said Issei. Are you here with your parents or with your friends? Issei decided to ask her the most burning question that had popped into his head when he first saw her. I don't have parents or friends, she answered in a monotonous voice. What? That's terrible. Aren't you lonely? Issei asked, getting even closer. That didn't help. The more he get close to her, she was starting to feel more warm sensation inside her body due to Issei's presence. Suddenly she realized what she was feeling. What next she did shocked Issei. She hugged him and bit him between his shoulder and neck and marked him as her, and soon an infinity mark appeared on the place where she bited. As she bite, she unintentionally reelsed a small amount of power towards Issei, which caused him to feeling the same warm sensation that Off-Ice was feeling since she was a dragon god too. The next thing that Issei did stunned Off-Ice. He moved and bite Off-Ice between her shoulder and neck, and a crimson dragonic tattoo appeared on Off-Ice's skin. So you are a dragon? Asked Issei as he looked at his bite mark. Yes, Issei know about the bite mark, continually learning with his father and D-Drake-chan. He know a lot about supernatural world, but he didn't know who is Off-Ice. Yes, you are too, mate, Off-Ice asked shyly, and looked at her shoulder where Issei bite. Why she acting this way? Let's just say it's about finding her soul mate. Just hearing her calling him her mate, made eyes blushed, his whole face become crimson. Yes, I'm Off-Ice Heim. And now Off-Ice blushed hearing him calling her Heim. Come, let's play. Issei took the hand of the girl and walked off with her. After their little play, Off-Ice Heim, you said you were all alone, right? Yes, then how about you live with us? I'd love to, said Off-Ice. Issei took Off-Ice's hand and walked to his house. It took him only 10 minutes to convince them to let Off-Ice stay with them, but they agreed anyway. Seeing the sad face as Irina left the town and Kurumi got busy in schooling and came only in weekends, and so seeing his son happy face, they didn't need anything. If that little orphan girl can make him smile, so be it. Time skip. Later that night, Issei was laying in his bed. His eyes were closed. Then he felt something in his bed. When he opened his eyes, he saw Off-Ice snuggle into him. Issei blushed deeper than crimson when he felt Off-Ice's body. WW, what are you doing here, Off-Ice Heim? Sleeping. I mean in my bed. I feel comfortable here. Oh, okay. Issei just closed his eyes, and after some time he found himself in dream world. You're not the only one. We are traveling in same boat, D-Drake-chan. But get married to Infinity Dragon God. I still can't believe this. What are you both talking about? Red Tao-san. D-Drake-chan. Well, we are talking about your wife, Ice-chan. My wife? Off-Ice-chan. She is not just a normal dragon, my little dragon god. Well, she is our Ouroboros dragon, or the infinite dragon god. Off-Ice, second strongest being in the existence. What? He is right, mate. As soon as they heard the voice, they had looked towards the source and found that Off-Ice was floating over there. Off-Ice-chan. So you know, trying to harm my son Infinity, said very pissed Great Red in a calm voice. I do not have any intention to harm my mate, father-in-law. Well, with that, Off-Ice caught Great Red off guard. Not just Great Red, but D-Drake also surprised to hear Off-Ice calling Great Red father-in-law. And for Issei, he was trying to recover that Off-Ice is second strongest being, and now she is her wife. Well, no one expect to have a mate at the age of 5. But for Issei, what we can say, there isn't anything normal about him except living a normal life till now, but I think that was going to change soon. If already didn't change when Off-Ice joined Hayadu household. Off-Ice-chan, are you sure? I mean, you want me as your husband? Asked Eyes nervously. Let's just say being a dragon god really boosts your mentality. And who kidding, he already started his magical training a year ago. Well, if past conversation didn't surprise Great Red and D-Drake, this will. Both of them shocked that Off-Ice is now possessive over something other than silence. That is what? Son of Great Red. Issei just blushed at Off-Ice's affection. So you know about me? Issei asked nervously. What, being the son of Baka, or I mean Great Red? Why, yeah. So you aren't angry or mad at me? Wait, how can you enter to my mindscape? Well, even Great Red and D-Drake want to answer of this question. So even I can enter in your mindscape? Yes, you can, my eyes. Let me warn you, Off-Ice, if you hurt my son you'll be paid dearly, said Great Red in a very threatening voice. I promise you, Baka, our Great Red, I'll never harm my mate, my eyes. Suddenly Eyes awake from his dream world and found that his Off-Ice Heim was resting her head in his chest. Eyes wrapped his arms around her and went back to his sleep. The next day, morning sunlight came to Hayadu household. But it was a different morning. Off-Ice and Issei were sleeping peacefully, cuddling each other like teddy bear. When Atome came to Issei's room, she saw state of his son. She just giggled. Actually, they look super cute together. Suddenly an evil idea got in her mind. She went back to her room, get a camera, and pick a photo in which both of the cuddle each like teddy bear. Oh my, she got an exclusive item to tease his son. Unknown to her, Kai just come to Issei's room to find out what taking so much time to awake Issei. When he saw this, he just smirked and mattered another girl add to his harem. Well, it unfortunately for him that Atome heard that, and that brought a smack on his head. With that noise, Issei began to awake. His mother saw that and said, "Good morning, sleepyhead. Looks like you and your girlfriend had fun last night." Issei blushed deeper than red like in tomato, and said, "It's not what it looks like. She isn't feel comfortable, so she slept here." "Oh yes, she is fully comfortable in your bed while cuddling you. I wonder why." "And what's with that? You aren't denying that she is your girlfriend," said Kai as he smirked widely. He can't miss the chance to tease his son, can he? Off-Ice has also started to awake. The first thing she saw was Issei was looking at her, and when she saw Issei, she just said, "Good morning, my mate." WWH what? Mate, Mr. and Mrs. Hayatu exclaimed in unison. Now here start the first unique, different morning moments. I wonder why too. Yous now come to know this is not going to long morning but long data, so he decided to just tell his parents that she is just his girlfriend, and she liked to refer boyfriend term as mate, but it didn't help how the heck of 5 years plus having girlfriend. Well, that's what he thought, but his mother's next words surprised him. "Well, just don't make us grandparents already," said Kai as he teased his son. Issei blushed like there is no tomorrow while Off-Ice just titled her head. To just leave the awkward situations, he got off the bed and ran towards the bathroom. At the breakfast table, Issei is currently sitting next to his Off-Ice Heim while having his breakfast. "The Off-Ice-chan, how about getting homeschooling with Issei? Sound good?" asked Ai's mother, looking at Off-Ice. Off-Ice just titled her head. Well, when she think about that, he thought she got more chance to stay close to her Issei and spend more time with him now without thinking anymore. She said, yes, mother. Well, that surprised Hitomi as well as Kai. Hitomi didn't help but ask again, what did you say? Yes, mother. Well, if you mind calling you mother, I won't call. I just thought Off-Ice was cut in middle when Hitomi said no. I didn't mean that, and of course you can call me mother for now on, you only call me mother okay. Off-Ice-chan. Off-Ice just nodded. And you can call me father, Off-Ice-chan said Kai with a smile. Off-Ice nodded again. I forget to mention we are going to visit Kyoto next week. Why yes, Kyoto. That's great, we are going to have lots of fun there. Isn't it right, Off-Ice? Heim, said Ai's cheerfully, but he failed to notice the shocked look of his parents' faces when he used Heim. Of course, mate, said Off-Ice while eating her chocolate cake. Today was the day Issei and his parents were planning to visit Kyoto to Issei grandparents from his parental side. Oh yes, they lived at Kyoto. Issei was excited to meet his grandparents who he didn't meet yet, so he was quite nervous too that how his grandparents gonna react to him when they meet each other. When Hitomi saw this, she understood what was Issei thinking thanks to her motherly instincts. Honey, don't get nervous. Your grandparents are good people. They always asked us to visit them as well as bring you there, so they finally meet their only grandson. So don't worry, they will love you, just the way we love you. Hearing about his grandparents will love him make Ai's more excited to meet them. But behave, don't talk with anyone rudely, said Hitomi. But Hitomi knows that Ai's didn't talk to anyone rudely, even he gave household servants proper respect that greatly shocked their servants too, that a 4 or 5 years boy giving a proper respect to someone, to a servant no less, that made household servant quite happy that their young master is gentle, polite, and not arrogant. They already know that he is smart and intelligent. Issei just nodded to her demand. Ai's heard about Kyoto a lot from his parents. Suddenly Ai's realized someone holding his hands. He looked and saw his Off-Ice Heim was now holding her hand with a curious face. To Ai's, seeing Off-Ice's curious face was adorable. When his parents saw the whole situation, they had to control their urge to yell Kawaii and hug them to death. Why are you so excited to visit Kyoto, mate? Asked Off-Ice with a curious expressions. Well, for starter, we are going to visit my grandparents whom even I didn't meet yet. And secondly, Kyoto is a very nice place. It is a place is full of quiet temples, sublime gardens, colorful shrines, and geisha scurrying to secret liaisons. So we can lots of fun there, Off-Ice-chan said Ai's cheerfully. Off-Ice giggled at her mate's cheerful expressions. Suddenly she realized something about Kyoto. Well, we can see Kitsune there, said Off-Ice. Kitsune? Why, you mean Nine-Tailed Fox, or something that for real? Yes, they live there. Sugoi Off-Ice-chan. Time skip, bullet train. It was 20 minutes after the bullet train had left Tokyo Station. It was the first time both Issei and Off-Ice traveling with the bullet train. It was first time traveling to Kyoto, so Issei parents decided to travel with bullet train so Ai's can experience how it is like to traveling through bullet train. Ai's was sitting on the last row of seats with Off-Ice. Across the aisle was his parents' seats. Mate, how's your training going on? Asked Off-Ice in low voice so that only her mate can hear. Issei first surprised because it is the first time Off-Ice was asking about his training. Well, Off-Ice-chan, father indeed Reg-chan taught me how to control my power and some magical stuff. Why'd you ask? I will help. You will? Really? Yes, you are my mate, my eyes. Whenever Off-Ice tell him my eyes, there is always a pink blush on his face. Arigato, Off-Ice-chan. After we get back from the trip, let's start your training, my mate, my eyes. On the bullet train, it was just as Ai's and Off-Ice finished enjoying the seaweed rice balls specially prepared by Hitomi. The announcement sounded that we are arriving at Kyoto presently. Tihei got off the train and now we can see the roof of the Kyoto station was covered by a huge atrium. Inside the station were many automatic escalators. It was truly a massive railway station. It doesn't lose to Tokyo at all. As a major sightseeing destination, it was natural that the ancient capital would have built a station on such a massive scale. It was crowded, totally packed. Suddenly an butler appeared from nowhere. Kin-sama, Hitomi-sama, it's good to see you again. Hayatu-sama, send me pick you up, said the butler. James, is that you? Asked Kin. Hi, Kin-sama, said James. Time skip. When they reached his grandparents' house, their reaction was different. In front of him a huge 3-story mansion. Issei maybe lived in mansion, but it is first time seeing other than that. Off-Ice doesn't show any extra reaction. His father's heaven smiled that he came to visit his parents. When they entered the mansion, Eyes can see an old age couple. Father, it's good to see you again, said Ken and give his father a manly hug. Hello mother, it's nice to see you again, said Hitomi while walked towards the old lady. Ah, Hitomi-chan, look how beautiful you become, honey, said the lady, and then her eyes laid on little boy and girl who were holding each other hand. Hitomi saw this and acted. Honey, go ahead and introduce yourself, Hitomi said, gently pushing Eyes and Off-Ice towards them. Hi, my name is Issei Hayatu, nice to meet you. Issei greeted with a smile. I am Off-Ice Hayatu, said Off-Ice with a little smile. Yes, she take the last name a week ago when she started homeschooling with Issei. Actually, she need a last name for that. What's better to way to use Issei's? After all, he is her mate. Old lady embraced them in a warm hug. Hello, I'm your grandma, and it's good to finally meet you, my cute little grandson. And I'm your grandpa. Issei-chan greeted old man with a warm hug. And Hitomi-chan, why I didn't know I have a granddaughter in first place? Asked Ai's grandma with a confused expressions. Well, mother, we took her in last week. Since she was orphaned this time, reply come from kin. Yeah, she was, but now she have us as parents, said Hitomi with a warm smile. Grandma just gently patted off Ai's head, who was wearing a pink gothic dress. Yes, she changed her dress many times and asked every time to Issei how she look. Issei still remember the day when she walked in his room wearing nothing, just black bikini. What to say? If he was adult, he was going for a nose until he dies from loss. He just stare at her like he saw a ghost. And it become worse when Drake-chan started to teasing him about off-eyes, much to Issei embracement. Seems like I have a granddaughter too, said the elder Hayato. Issei saw a big garden through the window, which was well maintained. Hey grandpa, grandma, can we play at that garden? Asked Ai's while staring at the garden. His grandma giggled and grandpa chuckled at their grandson's hyperactive nature. Of course, honey, do you even need to ask? Just don't hurt yourself and look after your sister, said very amused grandma. What? Sister? Issei and Off-Ice just yelled in unison, while his parents just signed. What is an Off-Ice-chan, your little sister? Ice-chan asked his grandpa. Time for drop a nuclear bomb, thought Issei's father. He can already see that his son on the way to make a harem for himself in future. He is my mate, Off-Ice said immediately, not wanting her foster grandparents to call her sister of her mate. What? Said both grandparents, nearly yelled. What she means is, she is Issei's girlfriend, said Kin, trying to act before his son declared married. What he didn't know, his son already got married. Both his grandparents looked at each other but couldn't believe that their only 5 years old grandson Issei already landed a girlfriend. Not only that, but he was living with her under the same roof. It's just like living relationship. They looked towards Ai's, who just nodded, and then his grandpa reacts. That's my grandson. You just made your grandpa proud, Ice-chan said his grandpa cheerful tone. Issei doesn't know how to react. He just nodded. You know, father, your grandson going to have an harem, said Kin before smirking. Now both male chuckled pervertedly that earned them a smack on their head from grandma and Hitomi. Line break. Issei and Off-Ice now playing at the garden with his grandpa. When his father saw that and remembered when he used to play in that garden too when he was a child. This bring back memories, isn't it? Kai-chan asked a feminine voice from behind. He looked back and saw his mother was standing there with his wife, both looking at his son then him. Yes, mother, this certainly bring back some memories, said Kai happily while remembering the past. Suddenly a maid come and said, Luna-sama, dinner is ready to serve. Older woman just nodded. Ice-chan, Off-Ice-chan, come here, asked, demanded grandma. Both children run towards their grandma or grandma-in-law for a certain cute girl. I wonder who. What is it, grandma? Asked Ice while Off-Ice just remained silent. Grandpa understood what's going on, walked inside his mansion. Go clean your hands, kiddo. It's dinner time, said grandma. Ice was about to ask for 5 minutes more, but a single glare from his mother and he better choose to remain silent. Just like his mother can read him like an open book. Line break. After dinner. Nee, grandma, aren't you going to tell us a story? Asked Ice with making a cute face. Of course, my grandson. How could I deny anything to that cute face of yours, said grandma, but before that we have to discuss about the places we are going to visit tomorrow, sweetie. Don't worry about that, we'll take care of that, said grandpa. Grandma just nodded and led both children to their shared room. While Off-Ice give an excuse that she got nightmares so she wanted to share her room with Issei. And Issei give excuses that this was first time living in someone else's house. Well, in fact, he just addicted to cuddle Off-Ice while sleeping. His grandparents agreed immediately, not wanting their grandchildren feel any discomfort. Next morning, sunlight hit Issei in Off-Ice shared bedroom. He yawned and opened his eyes from his sleep, where you can say training, and found Off-Ice resting her head on his chest while cuddling him and his hands around her, as usual position for both of them. Her long hair open, spreading over his chest. He looked at the clock and saw it's already 7 and suddenly remembered that today they are going to visit many places. He got up silently, or not wanting to wake Off-Ice. He does care about her. Unknown to him, he started to care about her deeply. Issei and Off-Ice now sitting in breakfast table with their parents or parents-in-law for a certain girl. I wonder who. Itao-sen, where we are going today? Asked very exited Issei. Hitomi and his grandma giggled at her son and grandson existed behavior. Ice-chan, that's surprise for both of you, said Hitomi. Issei just pouted. His face was totally adorable. Later at the evening, Issei's face was totally blissed to visit many places with his parents and grandparents while holding Off-Ice's hand. Now here they sharing ice cream, since Ice dropped his on the ground and Off-Ice offered sharing her ice cream. They were returning to house now. His parents and grandparents were discussing about tomorrow that they are gonna busy for 2-3 days. So in the end they decided to let servants show them different places for 2 or 3 days. They just arrived home and tell the children about tomorrow first. Issei doesn't seem too happy to going without them, but understand they are busy, so he just nodded and he and Off-Ice just walked towards their shared room. Next morning, this time Off-Ice awake first and found herself on Issei. She looked at his sleeping face and couldn't help herself. She leaned and gave a peek on his cheek. Finding something on his face, Ice starting to awake and found what Off-Ice did. His face was become redder than tomato now. Issei and Off-Ice were now in a park while a butler sitting on a couch. Issei and Off-Ice felt something and sneaked himself from servants. A young girl at the age of 4 or 5 with the appearance of an elementary school student. She has golden, blonde hair tied in a ponytail and matching eyes. Her main attire is the traditional Miko outfit and tall getter with white tabi. The sleeves of her haori feature a giant red star-shaped pentagram, surrounded by 5 smaller pentagrams in between the points. She was currently surrounded by people. People? No, they aren't just people. There is something dark. They are devils. Gee, go away. Leave me alone, the young girl shouted in a tone filled with fear. So this is the daughter of Kyoto's ruler Yasaka. There's 8 devils walking towards her slowly. They're having evil smiles. The young girl shouted once again, and this time, she pushed both of her hands forward and released some fire of hers tried to attack them. Now that's being rude to attack someone who just come to say hi, said one of them. One of the devils grabbed the little girl in her neck, suffocating her. He was about to attack the little girl. The girl shut her eyes tightly. There's tears coming from her eyes. Can't breathe. Ka-chan, someone please help me. Suddenly a crimson energy beam hit that devil and completed turn him to ash. The girl couldn't register just what happened. 1 minute the said devil was there, and blink of an eye a crimson energy beam hit him, turning him completely to ash. The rest of devil have horrified face at what just happened to their comrade, and turned to where the crimson energy come from. A figure walked in and said, you know it's not a proper way to treat a cute girl, you disgusting creatures. And now figure appearing completely as just 5 years old boy. When Kanu heard that, she blushed. Now devils are pissed, beyond pissed. How dare a child call something to them, and killed their leader. One of them charged at him with killing intent. Suddenly a black beam of energy hit him, turning him completely ash. And now another figure appeared, a little girl wearing gothic dress ... with long black hair. Now every devil present there saw her and realized who they are messing with. Instantly 4 of them fainted, remaining 2 of them shaking with fear. Kanu run towards her savior. She didn't know who they are, but they save her, and that's enough reason for her to trust them. The girl looked towards her savior and found that a boy with crimson hair, gold eyes was looking at her. Next to him, a cute young girl with long black hair down to her hips and get eyes. Her attire consists of a black gothic Lolita fashion. Thanks for saving me. I'm Kanu, whom you are, said Kanu politely to her savior. Kanu, a cute name. I wonder you are more cute or your name. By the way, I'm Issei Hayatu, said Issei honestly, but only if he know he just flirt with a girl in front of his wife. While Afai is still looking at her mate with confused expressions. Why, my mate said something like that. Is he really trying to make an harem for himself? And it couldn't help when she remembered when their foster father teased eyes about something related to harem. All she can guess now that her mate going to have an harem, thought Afai's. I am Afai's, said Afai's immediately when she realized she was spacing out. Before they continue their talk, a young woman with a voluptuous figure and golden blonde hair with matching eyes appeared. The young woman is too dressed in a shrine maiden attire. Coming behind her were several Tengus wearing some ancient Chinese armors. Seeing the woman, the little girl yelled Ka-chan and run to her and hug her tightly. And the guards run to devils and seize them. Little girl told whole situation, and the woman looked towards the boy, and when she laid her eyes on the little girl, her eyes widened. Of course she know who is she. After all, the figure in front of her is Infinity Dragon God, Off-Ice. Hello, my name is Yasaka. Thanks for saving my daughter here, judging the person who are traveling with and taking care of those devils. I think you know us, asked the woman who revealed her name as Yasaka. Issei just stared at her and said, I'm Issei Hayatu, and the cute girl here is Off-Ice Hayatu. Before you ask, no, we aren't brother and sister. And I know about supernatural, but you are. I'm a kitsune and yakai. Issei's eyes were widened, so that's why he was feeling something different about them. Kitsune has 9 tails. Yes, can I see your tails? Can I? Please, 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 asked Issei cheerfully with a puppy face. Yasaka just smiled at the boy reaction, and Off-Ice face blamed. Now Kanu was trying to act, and so she did something that greatly surprised her mother. She come forward and said, I'll show you Issei-san. She let her tails and ears out. Wow, they are just beautiful as your name, Kanu-chan, said Issei while touching her tails. Now Kanu blushed deeper than red. Yasaka saw that and understood what her daughter feeling now. She just smiled. Suddenly 3 pairs of foot can be heard, so Kanu turns completely human. And soon 3 persons revealed themselves as 2 butlers and 1 maid in their uniform. Issei-sama, Off-Ice-sama, where have you been? We are looking for you everywhere. We are just about to call household, and they aren't going to like this, said one of butler. We are playing with our little friend over there, said Issei, trying to give an excuse while pointing towards Kanu. And then they looked at that direction and saw a woman and a little girl and 2 guards behind them, and now completely shocked. And they realized they are from royal family of Kyoto. They bowed to them and said, Yasaka-sama, we are sorry if our young master caused you any trouble. That caught Yasaka attention completely, and she looked at them. There is H mark on butler and maid outfit, and Issei mentioned he is in Hayatu. Then she turned to Issei and asked, are you somehow related to Max Hayatu? Hi, he is my grandfather, Yasaka-san. It will be lie if we say it didn't surprise her. After all, he was the only grandson of the richest man in Kyoto. Is this all? No, it isn't. The real shock is, he is the grandson of strongest man and woman in Kyoto. No, he didn't cause any troubles to us, but he did save my daughter's life, said Yasaka happily. Now it's time to give 2 butler and 1 maid a surprise. It really surprised them that their young master, who just 5 years old, saving the only princess of Kyoto. We glad to know that our young master didn't cause any trouble for you, and young master, it is getting dark. We should return to our house, said the maid this time. Why yes, wait, hey Kanu-chan, can we meet tomorrow? At the park, we can play together. Kanu just looked at him, still have little pink blush on her face, and nodded, oh of course. Issei-kun. Her mother looked at her with surprised face. She thinks she get enough surprise for today, but no. Her daughter just used kun. Now she realized she was spacing out, and Issei was waving his hand and saying goodbye to them. She just waved him back. Entire whole conversation Off-Eyes just stood there staring at her mate, her Issei, while holding his hand with hers. Now they returned to their house. When servants mentioned saving the princess part, his parents and grandparents looked at him with shocked expression. He just told them he'd just save her from thugs. Their reaction was different. His mother just scolded him to putting his life at risk and traveling with servants, while his father said, good job son, add another girl in your harem and a princess no less. Well, that earned him another smack in his head from Hitomi. But his grandparents' reaction was different. They just smiled, but inside they couldn't thought, how's this possible? After all, Yasaka is current leader of royal family publicly, but they know she is in Kitsune, and saving her daughter means a little kid. They couldn't found any different aura around Issei. He was completely normal. If Issei know what his grandparents were thinking, he'll thank Great Red next time when he meet for placing a seal on Issei and Off-Eyes. Only people who saw Off-Eyes before in that form can realize who really she is. Now Grandpa heard Eyes calling his wife. Grandma, something wrong. You are spacing out. Is she thinking the same what I was thinking? Thought Grandpa Max. No, I'm fine honey, I was just thinking which type of story I'm gonna tell you tonight. As she said Issei cheerfully while saying you are the best grandma. His grandma just smiled, and her eyes laid on her husband, who was completely silent after the servants told about the little incidents. Is he thinking the same? Thought Grandma. Too much for her surprise, Max just gestured her to come. And she did. What is it, Max? Asked Grandma. Are you thinking about what I'm thinking about? Luna-chan. Why you mean? Yes, so what now? If Issei does have any sacred gear, we'll help him with anything. We can't let just anyone come in our life in future and take Issei away from us. He just lived with us only for 2 days. I don't know, but I feel deep affection towards him and try to protect him from any harm. Luna-chan. And he is our grandson. You are right. We'll be damned if we let something happen to him, but are you sure that he haven't scared gear? Well, we can't sense it for now because he is just a child, but saving a Kitsune not from the thugs, that I'm 100% sure. How a human can achieve that? Answer, he must have scared gear. I hope everything will come out only to us soon, otherwise it is going to become troublesome. But if anyone try to harm my grandson, they will be know why I'm called the Angelic Beast. Don't forget, they don't even want to face the wrath of Angelic Ice Princess. Unknown to them, Eyes and Off-Eyes was there whole time. I saw his grandma was leaving, so he decided to help her with anything that she was going to do. Then she gonna tell him a great story before going to sleep. But he didn't know he was going to know something that even Off-Eyes has little bit shocked expressions. Issei and Off-Eyes both were sitting on their shared bed in their shared room. All they think about what they just heard from their foster grandparents. Issei still remembered the day when met his grandparents. He can sense something holy from them. He guessed that maybe there is some shrines near the mansion, but now when his grandparents used angelic word and talked about sacred gear, all things become clear. They are angels, said Off-Eyes when she saw her mate was thinking about that. But angels can't mate. If they will fall. Yes, they will, but what if they weren't born as angels? What do you mean? Didn't born as angels? You already know about reincarnated system. You mean like devil's evil pieces? Yes, like that, but something different. Heaven used brave saint. They are based on devil's evil pieces. The brave saints are currently only limited to the seraphs. I didn't know that. Means my grandparents are working under one of the seraphs. Most likely. Let's just think about it. 2 angels who were working under one the seraphs. In Kyoto. And you already mentioned they never visited you, so that's mean they didn't leave Kyoto. They must be angels as ambassadors here. And an high-class scared gear holder. Angel just doesn't reincarnate anyone. It was a shock for Issei. What will happen if they got to know about him? Will they tell his parents? Off-Eyes saw this and pulled him in a hug and said, don't worry, I'm with you. Even if they find out, all you have to do is so that scared gear of yours, nothing else. But what will happen when they find out I'm a dragon? A dragon god no less. While that time you can just simply say that D-Drag turn you into one. And what will happen when they offered to become one of them? I mean an angel. Baka mate. Just tell they you will fall, said Off-Eyes while giving a peek on his cheek. D-Drag-chan, is that you? Said D-Drag via mental link. Then how I'm gonna introduce myself? Just introduce yourself as Red Dragon Emperor. You are right, partner, said Issei, and D-Drag cut the mental pink. Next morning, the little boy rubbed his eyes gently and got up from the bed tiredly. From his certain postian, suddenly someone knock and enter the room. I saw his grandma enter the room. Before he can ask anything, she said, Eyes-chan, me and your grandpa have an important meeting today. So, before she can say anything, Eyes cut the talking by giving a tight hug and saying, good morning, Ba-chan. And don't worry, today me and Off-Eyes are going to visit our new friend and play with her. Wow, Eyes-chan, you made a new friend here, I'm happy for you. Okay, but 2-3 servants always with you wherever you go. Understood? Asked Grandma almost in demanding time. Issei and Off-Eyes are now playing to Kanu at the park, as they promised. Issei wants to know many things about Kitsune and Kanu tell him almost everything she knows. This is the first time she made friend and now she was playing with them. just being a royal princess. There is certain restrictions placed on her for safety reason. Issei is her first friend. Well, she also get along with Offis and started to call her Faiz-chan. Well, this was a new experience for Offis too. She just smiled. Now it's time go back home. It's already getting dark. Nikanu-chan, can we meet again tomorrow? Of course, Aiz-kun, we can. To be honest, I enjoyed playing with you and Faiz-chan. I never had any friend. You guys are my first friend, you know. What? You never had? Remember, you are my first friend too, and something more, said Offis while mumbled last part to herself. Oh yes. Anyway, do you like something? I'll bring it with me tomorrow, asked Issei to her new friend. Sweet, said Kanu cheerfully while jumping. Seems like she shares same taste like you, Offis-heim, said Issei. Only if he knows she really shares same taste. It's been a week. Issei and Offis met Kanu and started spending time with her. Max requested Kai to stay here with them. Kai realized he is missing them too, so he agreed immediately and rearranged homeschooling for Issei and Offis here. And when he told Hitomi about the current situation, she happily nodded. Why wouldn't she? Kai's parents treat her like her own daughter. When they told it to Issei and Offis, Issei was starting jumping joyfully. Man, he really liked Kyoto. While Offis smiled widely first time. Now today Kanu is coming to their house for play. Of course, many times, and last week they visited each other houses. But today Issei parents was out of the town for business purposes, leaving Issei and Offis with their grandparents and grandparents-in-law of certain cute girl who wearing white gothic dress today. I wonder who. Aiz planned to spend time with Offis and Kanu at the garden. He saw Kanu was coming, but not alone this time, her mother and 4 guards with them. Issei greeted them, much to Issei's surprise when Yasaka asked him call her Hal. Issei didn't understand what's going on. On the other hand, Kanu was blushing heavily. Yasaka thought that's enough teasing for today and tell them that she has a meeting with Issei grandparents about politics. Issei and Offis understood immediately that it is a meeting about angles and Yakai faction. Now Issei, Kanu and Offis are playing with each other at the garden. Issei wanted to tell Kanu about the new development about his staying. Kanu-chan, I have a news for you, said Issei while making a serious face. Kanu is not a fool. She know that one day Issei have to leave. He just came here for vacation and to meet his grandparents. And when they leave, she will become alone again. We are going to stay for a while, said Issei and Offis in unison. Kanu first have to register what they told her. When she realized, she tackled both of them to bone-crushing hug. I thought you both leaving this town. Oh my god, I'm so happy. Aiz-kun, Faiz-chan. Say Kanu-chan, how about homeschooling with us? Asked Offis, surprising eyes. It is true that Offis started to consider Kanu as her friend. I have to ask Ka-chan, but I don't think she is going to refuse that, Faiz-chan, said Kanu with a smile. Before anyone say anything, a fireball launched towards them, almost hitting them. I thought assassinating princesses of Kyoto will be hard job, said a male voice. But when smoke cleared, he stunned to see that his attack did nothing. A crimson barrier protected them. What? How is this possible? That attack was a high-class attack. How could a child like you create a barrier in first place? The attacker shouted. Issei can see 2 figures was standing where the fireball come from, spreading their devil wings. When he heard one of them shouting at him, he just did what that silenced him permanently. He released the barrier and sending a crimson energy beam towards him, turning him to ash. The other devil have horrified face that a child just destroy his comrade. What worst is he doesn't even seem to trying, and he killed his comrade like it was nothing. Now he was shaking in gear for his life. He knew now that that child can kill him like it was nothing. Please don't kill me. I'll do whatever you say. Just please don't kill me, said the devil in shaking voice. Before Issei could say anything, 5 figures arrived there. 2 were his grandparents. One of them was Yasaka, and remaining 2 were his grandparents' personal guards. What's going on here? Asked Max in demanding tone. And who are you here? No, my question should be what are you doing here, devil? Asked Max still in demanding tone. And then he looked towards the children. Luna already tackled Aiz in bone-crushing hug, while Yasaka doing the same with Kanu. When Luna felt Aiz was left out, she just hugged her too, making it 3-way hug. We are just sent here to assassinate the child over there. But please don't kill me. I beg of you. Just hearing that all adults have dark face. The temperature of the garden is decreased almost 20 degrees in just 2 seconds. No one registers what just happened when the said devil legs were frozen in ice. Everyone looked towards where that came from except Max. They saw a doll made of ice near Luna while she manipulating ice and revealing 4 pairs of her angelic wings. While Yasaka is summoning her fire to burn that devil alive who dare to try to kill her daughter. Now ladies, calm down. And you pointing at devil still have that dark face that he made when he heard that devil try to kill his grandson and granddaughter. You said US, but you are alone. Explain now before I end you, said Max in threatening voice. The said devil is now sweating. The temperature maybe get lower, but what he can see is pain and fear for his life. I had one comrade with me, but that kid killed him, said the devil in trembling voice while pointing towards Aiz. Now that's catch everyone attention. All are looking towards him like asking to explain. He just nodded. DDRAIG, time for a big revelation. Are you ready? Asked Issei. Of course, partner. Let's do this together. Issei just looked towards his grandparents and summoned boosted gear. Everyone except Offai's eyes widened in realization what they saw. Is it? Luna was trying to ask but cut off by Max. Yes, it is what you are thinking, Luna-chan. Our grandson is current Red Dragon Emperor, said Max while checking his grandson boosted gear. Looks like someone is going to continue our family legacy of sacred gear, mumbled Max and Luna in same time. Issei just explained that he activated it while saving Kanu. Also getting some weird dream about dragons that he doesn't remember, which everyone believed it. Let's just say, who going to doubt a 5-year-old boy? How about I train you, Issei-chan? Asked Max. You have something like that too, Grandpa? Asked Issei curiously. Max just chuckled. I have Annihilation Maker that is said to be par with boosted gear of yours, Issei-chan. Not just me, your grandma have too, said Max. Yes, Issei-chan, it is true, I have absolute demise, said Luna while pointing towards Doll of Ice. I'll help your training too, Issei-chan, said Yasaka, shocking Max and Luna. Looks like your dragon part is already doing his work, Issei-chan said, very amused Max. And that earned him a smack on his head from Luna. After that incident, Yasaka and Kanu left Issei house promising that they will visit Tamuro too. Now Issei and Offai sitting on the couch, in front of them their grandparents or grandparents-in-law for certain, black hair beauty. I wonder who. Max told him everything about who is he. How he become an angel serving under Gabriel the Seraphs with Luna-chan. You know Offais, we heard about Offais who is a dragon god, you know, who is par with God. And you are the first person who has same name, said Max. Issei chuckled for the first time nervously. Time to drop a nuclear bomb, thought Issei. I wonder where he got that trait from. She is the very same, Grandpa, said Issei nervously. Don't know how their grandparents gonna react. WWHATTT. Offais as Infinity Dragon God. How? Yelled both Max and Luna in unison. She is the very same, Grandpa, said Issei nervously. Don't know how their grandparents gonna react. WWHATTT. Offais as Infinity Dragon God. How? Yelled both Max and Luna in unison. I mark my eyes as my mate, Grandpa, said Offais while sitting close to Issei with a worried look. She knew no one can separate her from her mate except certain Baka Red. But she don't want any type of problem between her mate and his family. She just lowered her head. I saw this. Let's just say mate Mark share emotion too. So Issei was now feeling his Offais-heim feeling. He doesn't want to see Offais-chan in such mood. He holds Offais-chan hand with his own hand, stand up and look into his grandpa's eyes. While Issei was doing that, Offais couldn't help but think what was her mate thinking. She soon got her answer when Issei spoke. I did the same, Grandpa. I mark her as mine, stated Issei boldly while holding Offais-chan hand. Offai's eyes widened as her mate protected her, stand for her. Offais could feel as Issei did that some type of emotion started to build inside her. Both his grandparents gasped at the sudden change of Issei behavior. Must be your dragon entices, said Max before signed. He knew that a dragon doesn't let harm what is his. That is what Issei was doing right now. Huh, did D-Drag change you into half-dragon? Demanded Max. Suddenly boosted gear materialized on Issei's left hand, shocking his grandparents. A pleasure to meet you, Issei's grandparents Max and Luna. I'm D-Drag Aka Red Dragon Emperor. And to answer your question, yes I did. Some years ago Issei got high fever and to save his life I have to turn him into a dragon. D-Drag, it's honor to speak with you, one of the heavenly dragon. Did you half-dragon, right? Asked Max when he heard D-Drag saying turn him into dragon without mentioning half part. No, full dragon, a purehead dragon. Since he was just child I was able to complete turn him into a dragon. Also he can use boosted gear better as he is full dragon. I see, so something like that even possible. Strange, never heard of it. Something like, so our grandson is full dragon. So he is going to live long like us. That's great, we can spend more time with him, said Luna happily, totally forgetting they were discussing about Issei relationship. She had the horrified face when D-Drag-chan told them that Issei had viral fever and could die. But now her grandson was safe and in front of her. Issei, promise me you aren't going to tell anyone that you are Red Dragon Emperor, stated Max with a serious expression. Luna nodded her head in agreement. I promise, Grandpa, but what if innocent life in danger? Asked Issei, as he don't want to feel helpless when he wanted to help someone. Then you can. Until then I'm gonna train you. Your training start tomorrow, kiddo, said Max before chuckling at her grandson's heroic behavior. And I will protect my eyes with my life, Offai stated boldly. She liked Issei even before she met. But now after spending time with him she fell in love with him. Seems like we already have granddaughter-in-law. Just don't make us great-grandparents already, said Luna before giggling. Issei just blushed heavily. Seeing his face, Max smirked and said, so Issei, how many girls you wanted to add on your little harem? As he said, Issei blushed redder than tomato. And that's earned him a smack on his head from Luna. A week later, Issei thought that he gonna train with his grandparents will be exciting, but he didn't know he is going to train with gods too. Yes, Issei is going to start training with Shinto gods. Yasaka's Yakai faction is ally with Shinto faction. She contacted their leader, more especially Amaterasu, and asked her a favor to train current Red Dragon Emperor. Amaterasu asked how could she trust him. Well, she just explained that Issei is just 5 years old and have a pure heart. So Shinto Trinity tried to test little eyes, and much to their surprise he passed with flying colors. So in the end they agreed. Also when they come to know he is grandson of Max and Luna, they immediately agreed to keep his identity safe and secret. Offai said she will help Issei training but will start hers when Issei complete theirs. Susanoo, Amaterasu, Tsukayomi, Sun Wukong, Yasaka, Max and Luna are going to train him. They choose 1 day per week. Today he was training with Issei-chan. From tomorrow he is going to train with gods. D-Drag and his father offered that they can teach him dragonic magic as well as ancient magic and dark magic, which he happily accepted. And suddenly Issei's body was enveloped in a crimson dragonic aura, and a metallic voice sounded very loud. Issei body covered in red metallic armor, and another metallic voice could be heard. You did it, partner. You are the youngest host of mine who unlocked Balance Breaker. Thanks D-Drag-chan. I can't achieve it without your help. Hi Dad. By the way, can I change the design of the armor? This armor has a pair of rocket thrusters at the back that gives a temporary boost of speed and flight, assisted by the retractable of dragon wings that comes out of it. Without the scale, Issei can fly too with his 6 pair of dragon wings. When Eyes revealed his dragon wings, his grandparents had shocked faces, but he excuses that D-Drag turned him into a pure Ed dragon, so it is normal. Time skip, 1 year. It's been almost a year Issei started his training with Susanoo, Amaterasu, Tsukuyomi, Yasaka, Sun Wukong and his family. Much to everyone's surprise, Issei is a fast learner. Yesterday Issei Sun Wukong training in Senjutsu, Tauki and some basic fighting skill. Also special training to improve his stamina. To him it was useless because he already has godly stamina. But D-Drag suggested that it'll balance his body since he was going through a different training session with many gods, which he agrees. Lastly, Sun Wukong said he already taught him what he could, but one thing he didn't teach him is haki. According to him, Eyes is just 6-year-old. If he teach him something like that, it'll be too much pressure on his body. He decided to teach him when become 12 years old at least. He also unlocked Juggernaut Drive, but he has completely different chant and it didn't consume life force while using. D-Drag explained that past hosts could not interfere with his mind since he is a dragon god. During this period of time he became very close friend of Kanu. They even did some sleepover to each other's house. Issei remembers the day when he wakes up in the morning with one girl on his right side and one girl on the left side using his hands as a pillow, but what surprised him is Kanu wrapped her tails around him. And it was warm, but they only do 3 minutes 4 times in a month. In relationship between Issei and Issei, let's just say they are partially inseparable now. Sleeping together, eating together, even bathing together. And D-Drag never missed a chance to tease Issei about Issei, while muttering lucky bastard. Issei started to call Issei as Issei's Heim in front of their family. To his parents, they are so adorable. Today Issei's parents was out of the town, and his grandparents have special meetings, so they are not in the house, leaving Issei, and some of their trusted guard at house will know. They knew Issei won't let something happen to Issei, and in the past she proved it many times, which build trust on his grandparents' eyes for Issei. My eyes, since you already completed your training with Sun Wukong, how about training with one of my friend? Asked Issei while resting her head in Issei's lap using it as her pillow. Your friend, Issei's Heim. I don't know you have another friend beside me and Kanu. Asked Issei while playing with her long black hair. To Issei, she loves whenever Eyes touch her. And for Issei, he likes to play with Issei's hair. Silly Eyes, of course I made another friend last month. We were acquaintance before. Her name is Tiamat, Chaos Karma Dragon. The strongest dragon king, said D-Drag aloud while materialized on Eyes' left hand. D-Drag said immediately just by the mention the name of Tiamat. Why, is she dangerous? Asked Issei innocently. Why D-Drag say something like that? It was confusing for Issei. Great, now I have to deal with the problem that you did in the past. I know you're a very prideful dragon, but just apologize to her when we go meet her, okay? D-Drag promised Issei while being mad at him. Great Red heard the whole convo and remembers the time Tiamat, killing D-Drag host. That's it for him. Just the thought of losing his precious son, he roared so big that entire dimensional gap started to shake. Said Great Red via mental link. D-Drag could sense that he is pissed at the thought of losing his son. Actually every father will, except certain Lucifer family. And D-Drag and Issei both knew that Great Red is overprotective father. I do not care what her issue with you D-Drag-chan, but she won't dare to harm my mate, else I'll end her, said Issei immediately at the thought of losing her mate. It is true she care about her friends, but when it comes to Issei she didn't look at her opponent whom she is fighting against. Issei is the one she cares above all. D-Drag-chan chose to remain silent, knowing both dragon gods protect his host, and thought maybe this time he could get to know why Tiamat hate him so much. Issei and Issei just teleported to the familiar forest. So this is the familiar forest, sighs Issei looking around. Yes, my eyes, let's go, said Issei and hold Eyes' hand and then enter the forest. Few-minute walking through arrive at the cave. Eyes can feel the surge power from the cave, shouted Issei in her dragonic voice standing in front of the cave. From the cave a large blue western dragon is appear in front of them. Its size is about 60 m. This is Chaos Karma Dragon, Tiamat the strongest dragon king. When Tiamat laid eyes on Issei, she felt D-Drag presence in him. She growled and released her energy. Ground start to Issei saw this, he didn't like that, and the next thing he did, it shocked the Dragon King completely. Issei released his little bit dragonic energy. The ground start to tremble, some rock floating and then break into pieces, even tree around him destroyed. Land below his feet is cracked as his crimson hair start to float. Tiamat eyes widened when she felt Eyes' power. An unknown location. "Oh my godson is really powerful, huh?" said a handsome young boy, a middle school student with normal features having a well-structured face, with green and black hair which looks more bluish. "We'll meet soon, my godson." Back to familiar forest. "D-Drag, your move now," Issei mentally told D-Drag. Greeted D-Drag. Tiamat's eyes widened and then saw the crimson-haired boy's left hand was shining in red, crimson color. "D-Drag, how dare you? You dare show yourself at here? After so long." Tiamat roared angrily at Issei as he is the current Red Dragon Emperor. Wait, Tiamat. Stop it right there. Don't try hurt or kill to my current host. You have no chance against him. I'm here to apologize. Though, I don't really remember what I did. Don't you dare come apologize to me after it's been so long. And, you don't even know why you should apologize. And wait, what do you mean I don't have a chance against a 6-year-old boy? Are you out of your mind, D-Drag? Angrily shouted Tiamat. Though she asked last part in but of confusion and mocking tone. Off-Eyes decided she has enough and interfered by simply saying he is my mate. Tiamat froze at what she just heard. Off-Eyes having a mate, and she was trying to kill him. Oh boy, she is in great trouble, and he is the son of Great Red. I think you don't want him to hunt you down. Now that's it. WWWHAAAAT, she shouted so loud entire forest could hear. And suddenly Tiamat said something that changes everything. "I apologized, Issei-sama, for my rude behavior," Tiamat stated calmly, not wanting to piss off dragon gods. "Issei-sama, no need to call me that. Just Issei is fine," stated Issei happy. D-Drag surprised the sudden change of behavior, but he better choose to remain silent. "I can't do that. You are the son of Great Red Sama," stated Tiamat. Oh yes, every dragon respect dragon gods. But Tiamat admired Great Red, and harming his son is out of the question. "We can be friends, you know. Besides, I came here to ask to train me." I know, I'm a dragon god, but I'm just a child now, and I want to learn everything this world has to offer," declared Issei. Tiamat just giggled and her body glowing. When the light gone, Tiamat become young girl around Issei's age. She has long, dark blue hair that reaches down to her waist, with 2 bangs framing her face which reach down to her chest alongside her brown eyes, and wears black tank top and skirt above her knee. When Issei saw her human form, he couldn't help but blushed. Seeing his face, Tiamat smirked at gaining the attention of the dragon god. "Of course, Issei-sama, I'll help you train anyhow," anytime, stated Tiamat happily. "By the way, Tiamat, why do you hate D-Drag anyway?" Issei asked as he just remembered. He was curious about their history. Tiamat blushed heavily when Issei asked her that question. Tiamat sighed and spoke while feeling very embarrassed. "D-Drag, mumble, promise to me, mumble ... we will, mumble ... eggs ... mumble ... lave ... mumble." Happy, D-Drag apologized weakly. Like I care if you apologize anymore. Besides, I'm more interested in your host than you, Issei-sama." Tiamat said last part cheerfully, and she walked towards Issei and gave him a bone-crushing hug. Cuff cuff. Both Issei and Tiamat looked towards the source and found Off-Eyes was standing there, while glaring at Tiamat. "We should return back to home," said Off-Eyes, still irritated at why Tiamat hugged her mate. Both of them just nodded. "Say, Tia-chan, how about living with us?" asked Issei, surprising Tiamat and Off-Eyes. Off-Eyes surprised at why her mate asked that. Now Tiamat is blushing like a schoolgirl. This is the first time someone give her a nickname and call her with that, and asking her to live with him. "Oh, of course, Issei-sama," said Tiamat, still blushing. Issei and Off-Eyes back to the human world with Tiamat. Now the trio sitting with Eyes' grandparents, while explaining who is the blue-haired girl and why she is here. "You know what? I give up. Every time I think I have this kid figured out, he does something else," said Max in annoyance. Luna just giggled. Later that night, Issei and Off-Eyes was sitting in that couch while watching TV. His grandparents were discussing about Eyes' training in another room. Then Eyes' parents enter the room with sad expression. Her mother's face was like she was about to cry. Issei didn't understand what happened to them. Then his eyes laid on a blonde girl standing with them whose eyes was watered. He immediately recognized who is she. "Ka-chan, Tao-chan, Kurumi-chan, what hap?" Before he could finish his sentence, he was tackled in a tight hug of Kurumi, and she started to cry. "Black, sob, feathers, sob, killed, sob, Ka-chan, sob," replied Kurumi while sobbing. Issei was patting his back gently, but when he heard what she said he froze. "Black feathers, must be fallen angels, killed, Ka-chan. Wait, did she mean Rosoba-chan? Fallen angels killed Rosoba-chan or something?" thought Issei. Now Issei can understand why his parents, especially her mother, showing this type of reaction. He gathered his courage and looked towards his Tao-chan and asked what happened. "Tao-chan, someone attacked Rose-san and Kurumi-chan, and trying to kill them. They almost killed Rose-san. She is now in hospital now, but she is in coma, and Kurumi is going to live with us from now. Please take care of her, Issei. You are her only friend. You both almost grow up together. She is more comfortable around you," said Kai with sad and requesting tone. "You can leave Rumi-chan to me, Tao-chan. I'll take care of her," declared Issei while hugging Kurumi tighter. His parents nodded. When his grandparents and Tiamat enter, they saw Issei hugging a blonde girl while his parents have a sad face. Kai explained what happened to his parents. He didn't include the black feathers parts. To him it's Kurumi's mental trauma. When his parents left the room, Issei mentioned black feathers part, which shocked both his grandparents and Tiamat. They already know what black feathers meant. When Kurumi heard Issei mention black feathers part while having a serious face, she hugged eyes tighter. Thank you, mumble. Thank you, mumble. For, mumble. Believing me, mumbled Kurumi while digging her head in Ai's chest. Of course I believe you, Rumi-chan, said Issei, now patting her head. Issei didn't want to hide anything from her, and Dr. saying she had mental trauma. HW had enough. Issei take her to his room and decided to tell her everything about him in supernatural world except about Great Red. So let me get straight. They are fallen angels who killed my mother, and you turn into a dragon. While that thing on your left hand is a dragon, asked Kurumi. She didn't believe what her Issei said until he showed her his boosted gear. I know you'll call me freak and uni. Before he could finish his sentence, he was again tackled in a tight hug of Kurumi. I won't do such things. I even say thanks to that dragon for saving your life, Ice-chan. And you aren't a freak. Don't call yourself something like that. That made Issei happy, that he could tell his childhood friend most of truths about himself, and she is okay with it. Heck, she even thanking D-Drag for saving his life. They just hugged each other and slept on that position. Next morning, when Eyes woke up, he found something heavy on him. When he saw what was it, he was starting to blush. Over him, Kurumi is sleeping peacefully. Off-Eyes is sleeping on his right side using his hand as pillow. But when he turned to his left side, he could not believe what he saw. Sleeping on his left is Tiamat using her left hand as pillow as well. Unknown to him, last night Off-Eyes and Tiamat have little chat. Off-Eyes let Tiamat join Issei's harem, and she will remain as alpha. She had the same kind of talk with Kanu 6 months ago, which Kanu agreed to. I swear he could listen D-Drag mumbling something, lucky bastard. Suddenly someone opened the door and entered the room. I saw his parents came inside his room. His parents' eyes widened at what they are seeing, the situation of Eyes' bed. Kai just thumbs up him while showing his perverted smile. Well, that earned him another smack in his head. Oh, that's hurt, complained Kai. Hitomi, just ignore it. Hearing that sound, Tiamat woke up, seeing Eyes already awoke. Good morning, master. Unknown to her, Eyes' parents were still in the room, and they heard it, crystal clear. Issei pale, don't know how his parents going to react. His parents shocked to the core when they heard a blue-haired girl was sleeping with their son and calling his son master. Kai thumbs up this time with both hands, still having the shocked expression on his face. Hitomi couldn't take it and she fainted. At breakfast table. Oh God, what kind of dream was that, said Hitomi while holding her head with her hand. What happened to Hitomi-chan? Asked Luna in concerned voice. Nothing, mother. A blue-haired girl calling my Sachai as master while laying next to him, Hitomi said in embracing tone and with little blush on her face. Maybe it isn't a dream, said Luna, knowing certain blue-hair girl. Before Hitomi can ask what she meant, that certain blue hair with Issei, Off-Eyes, Kurumi are coming to her direction. Issei already know this is going to be a long day. His grandpa Max excuses that little girl is his friend's granddaughter and his goddaughter, and his girl's members were died in a tragic accident, leaving her alone. Hearing what Max said, Hitomi softened and embraced Tiamat in a monthly hug. Today entire household servants are busy in decorating the mansion. Today is their young master birthday. This is the first birthday he is going to celebrate with his grandparents. They only sends gift before, but today he can celebrate with his grandparents. His grandparents were more exciting today. Yeah, they could send only gift to their lovely grandson. They never attend any occasion related to their grandson. So they decided it's time to make up. When Issei awake, he could see his room decorated and room filled with balloons, and his grandparents, girls and his parents were standing in front of him. He wonder why. It is the first morning he woke up alone after Off-Eyes joined Hayadu household. Actually, he forget today is his birthday. HHAPPY birthday, Issei-chan, they said unison. Now he realized what is today. Sometimes he is so dense. Thank you everyone for your love, Issei replied. Get up, sleepyhead. Go take a shower and come downwards, said his mother with a warm smile, and left the room. His grandparents and girls did the same. In Dimensional Gap, a certain red dragon was creating something. That something covered in bright crimson light. When light faded, there are chess pieces, but in crimson color. Not only that, it have two queen unlike one. That's interesting. I never thought it LL have two queen pieces, said very amused dragon at his creation. Seems like your birthday present is ready, my little dragon god. Back to human world. After spending long birthday party, Issei is now standing at his balcony while peacefully looking at moon. Beautiful, isn't it? Issei heard the comment and looked at the direction where the comment came from. Issei smiled seeing his father. It is father. Anyway, he was cut off in middle when his father embraced him in a fatherly hug. Look how much you grown up, my little dragon god, said Great Red while patting his son's head. Before Issei could say anything, his father opened a personal dimension and brought a box, and give it to Issei while saying happy birthday. What it is, father? Your birthday gift or what? And why don't you check it yourself? Issei opened the boy and saw chess pieces, but there were two queens. Issei thought what it could be, but when it realized what it is, he looked at his father with shocked face. Is it what I'm thinking it is? Yes, it is, my little dragon god. But why there are two queens? Don't know. Don't want to know. Let's just say, that's make it unique. I guess. How could I use them? It took 30 minutes Great Red to make fully understand about it. After that Eyes thanked him while saying it is the best birthday gift he ever get. That made Great Red very happy, and soon he returned back to Dimensional Gap while Issei get downward to get Off Eyes and tell her about current development. Issei explained Off Eyes and Tiamat what he got from his father. Well, it shocked Tiamat, but Off Eyes didn't even seem too surprised. She knows Great Red can do anything he wants. Unknown to them, Kurumi heard half of the convo. She heard everything except who was Eyes' father. When Eyes said someone was spying on him, he guard up and, "Come out, whoever are you?" demanded Eyes. A blonde girl came out from the shadow. Eyes realized who was she. Rumi-chan, what are you doing? He was cut off when Kurumi placed a finger on his mouth. I have a request, Eyes-chan. What it is, Rumi-chan? Let me join your peerage. Yes, she was already told about peerage before by Issei. Are you sure? By me. Issei was again cut off when Kurumi placed a hand on his mouth. I should get used to it. Don't know how many times I was cut off before finishing, thought Issei and signed. Just do it, Eyes-chan, or you don't want me in your peerage, asked Kurumi while making puppy face. Very well. Lay down. She did what he asked her to do. Suddenly bright crimson magic circle surrounded her. In the middle of the magic circle there is a huge dragonic face. I, Issei Hayadu, one of the 3 dragon god, hereby ordering Kurumi Hayadu to join me as my queen and serve me eternally. Queen Peace went inside Kurumi, completely accepted her, and 2 pair of dragon wings burst out of her back. Seeing that Tiamat couldn't herself but want to his queen too. I'm next, said Tiamat cheerfully, shocking Issei and Off Eyes. Tiamat, are you, sir? Again he was cut off when Tiamat hugged him. Off Eyes just glared at her. Did I do something I shouldn't? Why the heck no one let me finish? Thought Issei in annoyance. Very well, welcome to the family. Yai, Tiamat cheered while jumping. No one suspect her, she is the Chaos Karma Dragon, Tiamat. Issei repeat the whole ritual. But there is one thing left to do. Now how he gonna tell his grandparents about whole situation and turning Kurumi into a dragon? Yes, his peerage member will become a dragon. Not just a dragon. Each member will get ultimate class ability in every department just by joining his peerage. That's how Great Red created it. If they train enough they can become Satan class in no time. But a Dragon King is said to be par with Satan class. So it's no big deal for dragons but for everyone except them. It was a great deal. That could be work. Thanks, D-Drag. You're a life savior. But before he could do anything a holy purple flame burst out from Kurumi, shocking everyone except Off Eyes. I did not know you have that, said Off Eyes as she smiled widely. So you know what it is? Off Eyes-chan, asked Issei and Kurumi in unison. That is a Scared Gear Kurumi-chan, Incinerate Anthem, one of the 13 Longinus. And it is known for its purple flame. Incinerate Anthem is considered as one of the 3 holy relics alongside the true Longinus and Sephiroth Graal. It is the holy cross on which Christ was crucified, explained Off Eyes with an amused smile. Now it is more complicated for Issei to explain the whole situation to his grandparents. Why, you have what? And you did what with Kurumi-chan? Asked Max and Luna in unison when Issei told them the whole situation. His grandparents could not believe what they are hearing from their grandson. Their jaw hit the ground when Issei showed them his pieces. You mean to telling us that Great Red, the strongest being in the existence, gave you that as your birthday present? Asked Max, still in his shocked face. Suddenly he chuckled and said, it's good job, I already give up to figured you out, kid, with saying that he started to laughing. Luna just sighed. She looked at her grandson and said, since you can have peerage you should only add powerful members and don't take advantage of it. Advantage? She meant harem, Eyes-chan, said Max with perverted smile. Yeah, that earned him a smack on his head. It was good that room they were talking with soundproofs. Also Issei only introduced Kurumi as his queen, keeping Tiamat identity as his queen's secret for right moment. Wheel, she also have Incinerate Anthem, Grandpa. WW what? She have what? Issei knew it was going to be long night. Issei explained everything to his grandparents. In the end his grandparents offered to train her too. Next morning sunlight hit Issei's bedroom. When he woke up he found himself in same position. It's like everyday routine for them to slept with him. Both queen made excuse that a queen should always be her king side, which Issei can't argue. In unknown location. So my godson is now going to have a peerage. More especially a dragon peerage. Huh, said a handsome young boy. Looks like you are going to make your own legacy. Can't wait to see what you are going to do when you grown up and introduce yourself in supernatural world. But I think it's time to meet you personally, my godson. Oh my, I didn't even gift you anything on your birthday. How silly of me. Time to correct my mistake. I think you're gonna like this, said the same boy while holding a sword. It's been 6 months since Kurumi and Tiamat joined Issei's peerage and became his queens. Tiamat personally started to train Kurumi since her identity is a secret even from the Shinto faction. Beside Tiamat, Aiza's grandparents also offered to train her, which Kurumi gladly accepted. Kurumi and Kanu also get along with each other very well. Besides Issei's grandparents and girls, Isaka is the only one who was told about Kurumi being a dragon and having Incinerate Anthem. Much to Yasaka's surprise, not only Issei managed to gain attention of the strongest being in the existence, but he also has given Issei the dragon pieces. Yes, that is what Issei named his evil pieces. While Tiamat being Issei's queen is secret even to her, Issei's grandparents is now getting worried about them. Since Issei and girls now only were considering about their training and to aim to become more and more strong, that wasn't the part worried them, and of course they were doing it excellently, but they were forgetting about the outside world. And homeschooling was helping either. We have to do something about it soon, Max said Luna in concerned voice while drinking tea. Yeah, you're right, I guess I have an idea that'll work, said Max, understanding her wife problem. What it is. Tell me, maybe I can help you with that, said, almost demanded Luna, also stopping to drink her tea. How about we send them to tour around the city? Also summer is coming, so we can also send them to summer camp, where they easily can interact with other children of their age, said Max, hoping that his idea will work. That's great, Max. I think I should reward you, said a very amused Luna and her husband plan for their lovely grandson. Oh really? Max almost shouted in happiness for getting a reward. Only if your plan works, said Luna devilishly before giggling at her husband's childish nature. So it's decided, but how are we going to approach them? Asked Luna when she suddenly remembered how their lovely grandson is going to react when they told them about certain tour and summer camping idea. We don't have to worry about it. You know, we are his grandparents, grinned Max while saying last part. Luna catch it what her husband wants to say and grinned too. I see. You called us Grandpa, said Issei while entering his grandparents' room with Off-Eyes, Kurumi, Tiamat and Kanu. Who? Yes, Eyes-chan, come. Sit with us. And girls, you too. We have something to say, said Luna when she heard Issei's voice. Issei and the girls nodded and did as it was directed. So, Issei, trying to start the conversation but cut off in middle when his grandpa is starting to say something. I know. You all are confused why I called you in the middle of your training. Right, said Max before signed. They all nodded. Well, kiddo, you are all just train all day, cutting off the outside world. That is not good. Even Kai-chan and Atomi-chan were complaining about that. Issei, when you were in Kyoto, your mom or dad took you out every weekend, said Max in serious voice, while Issei and rest scratched their heads in confusion at what he was trying to say, why he didn't tell them directly. Issei-chan, what your grandpa wants to say. How about you show Kurumi-chan some interesting and famous site of Kyoto? I defiantly can say rest of girls also want to tag along, said Luna, try to give another reason while wanting the same result, which also surprised Max, who just chuckled at her wife's unique way to dealing with situation. Rest of girls have different thoughts but answers were same. Kurumi wanted to tour around Kyoto, which she didn't do it yet, and doing with her Eyes-chan, which only she can dream about now happening. Off-Eyes just wants to spend time with her Eyes-kun, or should I say Eyes-koi. Yeah, that's another nickname she gave to Issei. Kanu blushed heavily to the thought of wandering around Kyoto while holding Eyes-kun hand. Tiamat just smirked when the see faces of girls are getting red. Well, I think girls love to cling with Eyes, teased Tiamat. Despite her size, she loves to tease anyone. Heck, she even walked in bath when Issei was inside. Let's just say it take almost another hour to complete his bath. When girls heard what Tiamat said, they blushed heavily. Cough. So I take it, you all agree T. Luna was cut off when Kurumi react. Yes, of course, said Kurumi cheerfully, while Luna just giggled. So it's decided. But since we are busy, some household servants will accompany you, Max said with a serious tone, and I already know those aren't just household servants, they are much more. They are highly trained bodyguard. Grandpa, I think I should tell Ami-1-chan about my peerage and Rumi-chan being a dragon and my queen, said Issei, making a serious face. Issei started to call Amaterasu Ami-1-chan. Even she liked it whenever Issei called her Ami-1. Kurumi blushed redder than tomato when Issei called her my queen. She always liked when Issei shows affection towards her, more especially when he used her name with my. Do you know what can happen after that? Max asked in a deep, serious voice. I know, Grandpa, I can take care of it, saying that I'm a pure Ed dragon and Great Red wants to see a dragon peerage. So he gifted me dragon pieces, said Issei while showing equal seriousness. Luna nodded in agreement, while girls are thinking what they can do to make Issei mood lighter. Then make sure you can tell her whole situation positively. I will, Grandpa. I will. Okay then, how about we go out for dinner tonight? Suggested Luna. She knows that she can't go with them tomorrow, and that'll make Issei a little bit unhappy. Yes, all 5 persons replied in unison. Then I should invite Yasaka-san too, said Luna. That made Kanu more happy. She then told Kai and Atomi about tonight's dinner program, which made both of them smile too. It's been a really while when we went out for dinner, said Kai looking at Atomi, while thinking about when Issei asked them to take him out for dinner. Yeah, we used to go with Eyes-chan, said Atomi while remembering the same thought. Today's dinner is going to bring some good memories, said Kai childishly. Our Issei is growing up so fast, said Atomi while comparing Eyes' childish behavior and current. Still, he have his childish acts, but he also have his serious behavior. At the restaurant, they made their way inside and were greeted by a waiter immediately. He bowed, then said, hello, you are Mr. Hayato and his family, correct? Max nodded. Right this way, please. He led them through the restaurant to a table towards the back that was a bit more isolated than the others. They stopped at a rectangular table with one woman seated on one side. There was a woman who was appearing to 20-something. I see. You already arrived, huh? Yasaka-san, said Max, after Kanu and Issei became friends. Or you can say too much close friends. Their family started to treat each other children like its own. How could I miss an invite from my daughter's another family? And since I had already completed today's work at afternoon, I have nothing to do this evening, said Yasaka as she stood up from her chair when she them coming. Ka-chan, it's good to see you here. I think you're going to miss it due to your work, said Kanu cheerfully. Giggle all, well, how could I miss a dinner with your future husband and his family, Yasaka muttered in Kanu ears, making her face go red of embracement. When at last all of the introductions were done, Yasaka returned to her seat on one side of the table while the Hayato family took their seats, including Kanu. The waiter returned a couple minutes later and took everyone's order. When he left, there was an awkward silence as each person waited for someone else to speak. So I heard you all children are going out, asked Hitomi. Hi, Ka-chan, we are, said Issei. Have fun then, said Hitomi with a smile. The rest of the evening proceeded similarly as they talked a little bit with each other. Also, the food was so damn good. Issei already get ready for their day, but the girls are still busy in getting ready. When he saw the girls come, he was starting to blush. Afaiz was wearing light blue color gothic fashion dress, while Kanu was wearing white shirt and orange leggings. Hiromi was just wearing purple t-shirt and black mini skirt. Tiamat was wearing blue short jeans pants and red t-shirt with a dragon mark on it. But the girls saw what Issei was wearing and they blushed too. Issei just wore white t-shirt with black unbuttoned shirt and blue jeans. Now they started to have fun, while enjoying the view. Can we go to Fushimi Inari? I heard about it many times, asked Kurumi, while remembering what she saw about Fushimi Inari in TV. Fushimi Inari. So my cute queen wants visit Fushimi Inari. I see. Why not? And it's one stop away from the Kyoto station, said Issei truthfully. Hirumi blushed heavily when Issei called her my cute queen. To her, joining his peerage as queen was the best thing she did to her life, while rest of girls just narrowed their eyes. Inari Station was one stop away from Kyoto Station, and after getting off they were able to see the visiting road leading to Fushimi Inari. They aren't alone. There are 4 household servants with them. With excitement, they passed through the main entrance without issue. Walking further along, they reached the main hall. Continuing, they found the steps leading up the Inari mountain. They took photos as they advanced, and began their next challenge of climbing the mountain path through 1,000 torii. They were checking out some little stores at the rest stop halfway, while continuing up the challenge that was Inari Mountain. Oh wow, what a great view. Yes, too wonderful. Awesome. Amazing. Stunning. Those were the first response from the children when they saw the scenery of the Fushimi Inari mountainside. After visiting Fushimi Inari, they head back to home. I take it you guys have fun today? Asked a feminine voice. When they looked at the voice source, they immediately found Ba-chan was standing there with a warm smile. Yes, we did, Ba-chan, and we visited Fushimi Inari too. We did lots of things today. Before Issei could, he was cut off in middle, this time by his own Ba-chan. Easy eyes, Chan. I know you wants to say everything you did today, but first, go and get fresh, said Luna. Issei and rest of girls just nodded. Kanu wasn't there. On the way back to home, they already dropped her to her house safely. After getting fresh and telling the little story about today, and having dinner, Hafeiz and Tiamat went to another room for discussing about the new training program. Since Issei went for a walk around the mansion, Kurumi decided to tag along with Hafeiz and Tiamat. After dinner, Issei decided to go for a short walk before going to bed. Suddenly Issei felt a tremendous amount of goldly aura nearby, and he looked towards it. What he found, there is a boy. It's a boy who looks like a middle school student with black-green hair which looks bluish. He has well-structured face, but then moment their eyes meet, he understand by instinct that the alert level inside him went up to the max right away. Issei would have freaked out at the amount of divinity the boy was showing if he wasn't the son of Great Red. And living with Hafeiz make it easy to him to calm his instincts. Who are you? Asked Issei while analyzing the boy with his eyes. No, I'm hurt. You really don't know who I am. I think you remember me, said the boy with a fake hurt tone. But I never meet you in past. How am I going to identify you? Said Eyes with a frown. You don't remember. After all, I'm the one who left you at Shrine, where Hayatus took you in. As he said, Issei froze where he was standing, because only his parent and grandparents knew about adoption. No one else. While it is true he told Kurumi adopt it, and her reaction was mixed. Flashback begin. Issei and Kurumi were sitting on the grass at the garden, watching sunset. It is so beautiful, Eyes-kun, said Kurumi as she lay her head on Issei's shoulder. Issei just looked at her. Her blonde hair was so close that Issei was starting to smell it. Me, Rumi-chan, I have to say something very important, which I didn't tell you during the time when I was telling you about supernatural, said Issei with a serious and nervous face. Kurumi just looked at him and simple asked what it is, Eyes-kun. It's about me, said Issei with a hesitation. Kurumi can easily read that her Eyes-kun was hesitate, so she simple placed her both hands on his both cheek and said what it is, Eyes-kun. You know, you can tell me everything. I promise I never tell any of your secret to anyone, said Kurumi with a caring voice. It's about, I'm adopted. Issei then told her about how his parents found him at Shrine. Kurumi had mixed reaction on her face. Her face was showing the reaction of anger, sympathy, and relief. Anger for the person who dared to abandon her Eyes-kun. sympathy for Aiz-kun for going through that type of situation at that little age. But she found, extremely relieved that her Aiz-kun isn't related to her. You aren't going to treat me any differently, Rumi-chan. You still considering me as your family, aren't you, Rumi-chan? Asked Issei nervously. When Kurumi heard what her Aiz-kun was asking, she found she didn't say a word whole time, and that's why Aiz-kun was asking something like that. Next time Issei found himself tackled in tight hug of Kurumi, and he lose his balance and fell on the ground with Kurumi. Don't say something like that. I'll never do such thing. You more than that to me, said Kurumi while digging her head into Aiza's chest. Issei couldn't help and hug her tighter. Flashback ends. WW what? What do you mean Boo left you at shrine? And how do you know in first place? Tell me, who are you? What do you want from me? Asked, demanded, questioned Issei, with glaring the boy with both of his eyes. Chuckle. Easy there, godson of mine, said the boy. GG godson. I have godparents. Issei nearly yelled at the boy, who just chuckled again. Yes, you have. I'm standing in front of you, said the boy. Why, you are my godfather. Why didn't father tell me about this? And you are? Asked, questioned Issei suspiciously. Oh my, I didn't give you my name. Well, I'm Shiva, god of destruction from Hindu mythology. Your godfather, said the boy, now identified as Shiva. Issei just looked at him with shocked expression at what he was just told. He was godson of Shiva. You already know who Shiva is. He is one of the Trimurti and the god of destruction of the Hindu mythology. He is ranked at the higher ranks of the top 10 strongest beings in the world. Shiva, the strongest god after dragon gods. You are. I'm that Shiva. Don't be like that. Do you think your life is normal? Let me remind you. You are the son of Great Red, husband or mate of Off-Ice, current Red Dragon Emperor, or should I say strongest Red Dragon Emperor. Also, you are the only one who has Dragon Peerage. What? You Dragon Peerage info? Actually, I was the one who suggested your father to gift you something like that, said Shiva when he saw shocked face of Issei when he mentioned about peerage. So he decided better to clear up the things. I guess so. But not every day you found out who is your godfather. Is Shiva my godfather? I couldn't control myself, said Issei relaxing, when he saw what his godfather wanted to say. Still, you didn't tell me. Why am I not informed about it? It was my decision. When your father revealed himself to you, he asked me to do the same. But I refused. I told him when I revealed myself in time. And I think no one in this world knows that. Me and your father are friends. Even Off-Ice have no idea about it. Time? Well, I want revealed myself when you already set your paths for the future. Like currently you chose to become strongest dragon god, even want to surpass your own father. And where are you getting at? With choosing your path. To put it simple, I don't want you to become an evil berserk dragon god. And I can see you set yourself a quite admirable goal. You know, and I want to help you with it. Help me? How? Hey, do you forget who I am? Come on, I can help you with your training. You know, really, you help me with it. Now Issei have star in his both eyes. Who wouldn't? Training with God of Destruction. Of course, I'm your godfather after all. But you'll have to wait until you reached 11 of your age, then we can start. Issei get little bit disappointed, but it quickly get over it when he realized his godfather is right about it. You are right, said Issei with a little bit sad voice. Don't be sad. I think this will lighten your mood, said Shiva as he just raised his right arm and something began to glow briefly in his hand. When it died down, a sword was now in his hand. It was a silver-colored broadsword with the blade resembling that of a Kanda's blade and was around the same length as Aiza's. It possessed an oval-shaped golden guard, a triangular rain guard, and had a two-handed handle wrapped in brown bandages with a gray ring pommel at the bottom of the handle. The sword, you can see, my godson, is Chandraha's, the invincible sword. Issei already know what is Chandraha's. It is an invincible sword that Shiva once had given to Ravana as a gift. It has the ability to deliver damage and destruction that cannot be repaired or healed from its destroyed state and weakens the power of objects that it damages too. Shiva handed the sword to Issei. Issei took it and sealed it in his one of personal dimension pocket. Arigato, Shiva Ajisan. I take it. You already know about the sword. Hi, Ajisan. I read about it in Hindu mythology. The only sword in Hindu mythology. If I'm right. Yes, you are. It is. Now I think you should return back to your home. It's almost an hour. I think you are right again. By the way, can we meet? Issei was again cut off in middle of talking when Shiva, starting to answer his questions. Yeah, we can meet again. And to the answer to your previous questions ... your father asked me to get you into Hayato household, said Shiva, teleporting away from that place. Issei returned back to his house and now laying on his bed while thinking about today's little talk with his Ajisan. And then he found himself in dream world again. I take it, you finally met your Ajisan. I still can't believe this. Having Shiva as your godfather. Yes, father. We have a little chat today, said Issei, completely ignoring D-Drag comment. Well, here, you can use the sword. In real world you can use wooden sword of same length and weight to practice. And here you can use it freely. How's it sound? Just perfect. Time skip. It's been a month, Issei started training with wooden sword. Much to everyone's surprise because he never show interest in sword. And today is the day when he is going to tell Ami-1 about his peerage. Training with Amaterasu, not just build his body or magical arsenal. He and Amaterasu become close too. Issei, starting to call her Ami-1-sen. That Ami-1-chan. But now he ends up with just 1-chan. and Amaterasu loved it whenever Issei called her one-chan. She started to care about Issei deeply. Unknown to her, she is also starting to develop some feelings for him. One-chan, I have something to tell you, and it is important, said Issei with a nervous expression. What is it? Aiz-chan, I have a peerage. Amaterasu just stared at him like she saw a ghost. Well, Aiz-chan, can you repeat what you just said? I think I heard something. You having a peerage, said Amaterasu, hoping she must misheard of it. You heard correctly, one-chan. I have a peerage, said Issei with hesitation and a nervous expression. Amaterasu froze completely now. Only one thing comes in her mind now. How? Why the hell he did that? Aiz-chan, are you sure? You aren't lying to one-chan. Don't you dare to lie to one-chan. Don't you like one-chan? Said Amaterasu with little bit hurt tone. No, I like you, one-chan. He just told me that after seeing Devil, Angel peerage he wants to see a Dragon peerage. That's it, one-chan, said Issei while he hugged Amaterasu in tight embrace. Amaterasu just smiled and hugged him back. Issei and girls are now heading back to home after having lunch out. They have a plan for lunch. Suddenly a boy of short blonde hair and gray eyes collided into him. Well, it was the boy's fault. Look, where you are going, said the boy with arrogant and harsh voice. Actually, you are the one who collided into me, Issei shot back. The girls just glared at the boy. Who care about you? Hey girls, how about we go to park? The boy said arrogantly. Issei and girls decided to ignore the boy and start walking to their home. Seeing he was ignored, they just grabbed the hand of nearest girl, that happened to be Kurumi. Kurumi just glared at him. Leave my hand. I'm Jew. Before the boy could finish, his face met with a fist, and that happens to be Aiza's fist. The punch sent him flying 2 meters in the air, and then he fell on ground. First you collided into me, and rather saying sorry, you lectured me. Then you dare to hold Rumi-chan's hand, said Issei. Oh man, he was pissed off. The fist was so hard for the boy that his 2-3 teeth came out from his mouth. Just seeing his face, you can say that his nose had broken too. Why you dare to hit me? Don't you know who I am? I'm Genshiro Saji, and I. Before he could finish his sentence, someone kicked him. And at this time it was Kurumi who kicked him. I don't give a damn about who the hell are you. Only Aiz-chan can hold my hands. No one else. You got that little piece of crap, threatened Kurumi. The kick was so hard the boy fall again and start coughing. Issei blushed heavily when Kurumi claimed that only he can hold her hands. But it didn't lessen his anger towards the boy. Suddenly 2 figures appeared there. Both of them middle age. One of them is female and another one is male. If Issei has to guess, he probably can say both of them is husband and wife, and more importantly the way they looked at the boy he can guess, maybe parents of the boy. Saji-chan, are you okay? Who did this to you? Asked the female to the boy. In caring tone. Ka-chan, said Saji, walked pointing towards Kurumi and Issei. Seeing his son pointing towards a boy and a girl, Saji father decided to act. You, boy and girl, hit my son? Asked the male in serious and angry voice. Yes, we did, said Issei without any hesitation. Your son first collided into us. Without apologizing, he started to lecture us. Then he dared to hold my hand. This time the one who said is Kurumi. Both Mr. and Mrs. Genshiro shocked at what his son done. Saji's parents just stare at their son, who just hide his eyes. Sam's father dangerously glared at his son. But his mother looked at the girl to apologize for her son's behavior. But before she could say anything, Issei spoke. I'm apologizing if you find her tone harsh, said Issei while pointing towards Kurumi. No. If anyone fault here, is our son, so it will be us who apologizing, not you. Generally any girl will hit a boy who dare to touch her without her permission. Even I think I should give him some lessons about how to show respect, said Saji's mother with apologizing voice. Yes, you are right, dear. We should give Saji lessons about respect. In the meantime, I apologize for his behavior. You don't have to apologize for his. Before Issei could finish, he heard someone calling his name. Issei-sama, Issei-sama. He and rest of them looked towards the source and found 2 of his household servants were there. Issei-sama, are you okay? You know it is getting dark, and you are also being late. Your parents and grandparents were worried about you and girls, so they sent us to look for you. Yes, we are fine. Wake-san, Zeno-san. You don't need to worry about us. We just run into someone, said Issei politely. Saji's parents were shocked at how Issei was interacting with them and showing the amount of respect. The 2-person were already in usual servant's outfit that Saji's parents easily caught. But then Saji's father noticed H mark on the outfit and tensed. Then looked at Issei and asked, are you perhaps related to Hayatus? Hi, I'm Issei Hayatu, son of Kai and Hitomi Hayatu, grandson of Max and Luna Hayatu. Introduced Issei to them, who were in shock. Saji's father about to say something, but one of servants interjected. Young master, we should head back to home. It is getting dark. Hi, Zero-san, said Issei and turned to Saji's parents and said it's pleasure to meet you and walked with the girls while servants just followed them. I think Two-san is not going to like this, said Saji's father looking at his wife and then his son angrily. While Saji's mother still has shocked face. She knew what hiatus meant to her father-in-law. Definitely. Father-in-law is already mad at Saji's rude and arrogant behavior, and it didn't help when he received a complaint call from his school. Let's just hope we can calm him somehow. Also give Saji a lesson about how to behave, said Saji's mother, who also glaring at her son. Which I highly doubt, and Saji deserve it, said Saji's father, who knew how his father going to react when he finds out what Saji did to Hayatu's hair. Saji's mother just nodded in agreement. Time skip, dinner table. Issei is now having dinner with his parents, grandparents and girls. So Issei-chan, why you and girls late today? You know we got worried. And you never late before. Care to tell us? Asked Hitomi. It's not his fault, Oba-chan. It's a boy who collided into us and dared to hold my hand, said Kurumi. She said last part in a way, if she the boy again she will definitely gonna kill him. Just hearing that, Max and Kai just looked at Issei, who just nodded and decided to find the boy who dared to touch one of their family member. While Hitomi and Luna eyes are getting very dark of anger. Who the hell is dare to touch my niece? Shouted Hitomi. And it took 15 minutes to Kai and Luna for clam her down. Well, when Issei Koi punched him, he about to give his full name, but Kurumi-chan kicked me. So all we catch is his last name. And it was Genshiro or something, said Tiamat, who decided to answer. Now his grandparents have little bit shocked reaction that the boy is the part of Genshirus, and decided when he visit them he'll going to have a chat about this incident. Issei-chan, good job for protecting Kurumi-chan. And Kurumi-chan, you too for kicking him. I'll be damned if I let something happen to you while my little sister is in coma, praised Hitomi to both kids, while muttering last part to herself. The rest of dinner went peacefully. Currently Yasaka was training both Kurumi and her daughter. Yasaka was teaching them how to control their flame. While Kanu has similar fire flame like her mother, Kurumi have both purple flame of incinerate anthem and can breathe fire due to turning into a dragon. So she have to undergo different type training just for control her flame and use it. The amount of potential Kurumi was showing surprised both Issei's grandparents and Yasaka. She is already can take a low ultimate. Seeing that, Kanu asked her mother to train her more harder. She is now can easily take in high class. That greatly surprised her mother that even she wasn't that powerful when she was same as Kanu currently is. She also asked Tiamat to give her some basic combat, also some physical training. What boosted her power extremely was Office Snake. With Offai's power combined with her fire, it become deathly fire. According to Offai's, it can destroy in high ultimate class with just one hit. But it consume lot of stamina, so Offai's advised her to use it when it is absolutely necessary. Alright girls, that's it for today, said Yasaka while passing water bottles to them. Hi, Ka-chan, Yasaka-san, said Kanu and Kurumi. Hey girls, called a male voice, and both of them knew whose that voice belonged to. Eyes kun ... you hear? Both girls asked in unison. I think you already forget. Today's date. I think I give you 2 hint. Lunch, out, said Eyes childishly. Both girls look at each other and remember they are going to have lunch out with others. Thanks for remind us about it, said both girls in unison and hugged him. Issei blushed heavily. Cough cough. The trio looked at the source and found Offai's was standing there. Eyes Koi, I need to show you something, and Kanu and Kurumi, you both better get ready, Offai's stated simply. Hi Offai's-chan, Fai's-chan, both girls again said in unison. While Eyes just followed her, Issei and girls are walking to the restaurant where their lunch is waiting for them. Suddenly they felt a presence they didn't felt in long time. Devil, said Issei and Kanu in unison. Kanu get close to Issei and hold his hand. Issei then noticed that Kanu's hands were hold his own hands. It will be alright, Kanu. I'm here for you. Kanu placed her hands on Issei's. Eyes, please stay by my side. I will always be with you, Kanu. Always. Promise. I promise, Kanu. I promise that I will stay with you forever. There is some tears on her eyes, but before anyone can see it, she dig her head in Issei's chest and hugged him in tight bone-crushing hug. It's okay, Kanu. Now let's go and check what's going on. They aren't allowed here, said Issei while everyone nodded. A silver-haired girl, who appeared the same age as Issei, was very unhappy with her life. Her father never came to talk to her as he thought she was some kind of a monster and was largely absent her whole life. He used to beat her just to let out his frustration. Her grandfather was an abusive too, who used to beat her in the name of, since she learned that she had a Longinus sacred gear, divine dividing, host of Albion. Rhizome live in Lucifer ruthlessly, trained her in everything possible. He didn't give a damn about her situations. She had ran off from her home 1 week ago and was undaring in the streets of remembered what had happened earlier and tears came to her eyes. Her parents was killed by Rhizome in front of her. She didn't care about her father but her mother was everything to her. She promised that day she will kill him for taking away her mother from her. Now, she was running. 4 devils were chasing after her. Suddenly they surrounded her. I will just kill you and Lord Lucifer will reward us. No. Why not? We sold her. Since she is a Lucifer we'll get high price for her. We should kill her. Lord Lucifer will reward us more than we will get after sold her. Let's just kill her already. The silver hair girl looked at them with horrified face as they were ready to kill her. Then they combined their demonic power and put it together, forming a large demonic ball and sent towards her. She closed her, accepting her fate. Tears were running from her eyes. She knew even if she used divide, it'll not enough to completely stop it. But it never come. She opened her eyes, saw a boy around same age as her. He has crimson hair. Just stopped the ball of demonic energy by just as one of his finger like it was nothing. And then destroyed it. The 4 devils had their jaw on ground. A boy just destroyed an ultimate class attack at just like it was nothing. The silver hair girl looked at him in awe. You disgusting creature don't know how to treat a cute girl, said the boy with crimson hair. Don't get cocky, brat, said one of the devil as he tried to attack him, but before he can attack him a black energy beam hit him and turned him into ash. 3 of the remaining devils have horrified faces. They saw what happened to their comrade. The silver hair girl first blushed when Issei called her cute girl, but became horrified when she saw they tried to attack him, but then she saw the said devil disintegrated into ash. Even she couldn't register what just happened. But one of devil quickly recover and try to hit him, but before he even touch eyes, a purple flame hit him and burned him to ash. The remaining 2 tried to flew away but froze in ice. 4 figures appeared. The silver hair girl saw them coming. 2 of them has blonde hair, 1 of them has blue hair, and the last one has black hair. She just bowed to them and said, thanks for saving my life. Why a devil wanted to kill another devil? Issei is about to ask, but it was Kanu who asked her. Clam down, Kanu. Let me handle this, said Issei. Hey, what's your name? I'm Issei Hayaudu. The girl just asked you a question, is Kanu. Next to her another blonde is Kurumi. Next to her the blue hair girl is Tiamat, and next to her black hair girl is Offeyes. The silver hair girl has her jaw on ground when she heard the name Tiamat and Offeyes. Who would not? After all, Tiamat is a dragon king while Offeyes is a dragon god. I'm Valine Lucifer. You can call me Vali, said the silver hair girl, who now identified as Valine Lucifer. Lucifer, said everyone except Offeyes, and they guard up. Issei just looked at her. Her eyes became red because of sobbing. He didn't know what to do. He wanted to help her. Easy everyone. She isn't a threat, said Issei. Not to be rude, but can you tell us why you are here? This territory isn't a devil territory. Vali didn't know what come over her, but her inner instinct is yelling at to trust the boy. She ended up telling them everything. In the end, Kanu, Kurumi have teary face while Tiamat was showing face of anger. Offeyes just maintain her clam face. Issei walked close to silver hair girl and brought her in a comfortable warm hug. Tears were still running from her eyes when she found herself in someone hug. Surprising, she didn't resist and hug him tighter and dig her face in his chest while Issei just patted her back gently. After 10 minutes, she claimed down and about to say, but her stomach growled. Her face become red of embracement. When you eat something last time? Asked Kurumi. 2 days ago, said Vali while looking down at ground. Issei and the girls have terrified face at what they just heard. Come with us. We are going for lunch, demanded Kanu immediately. Oh okay, said Vali nervously. She didn't know how to react since it's first time someone called her to eat with them. You can live with us. I'm sure my parents and grandparent will not mind at all, said Issei. Said D-Drag aloud, as Issei left hand glow crimson. You shouldn't take any help from Red Dragon Emperor, Vali said Albion as Vali back glow and white energy wings appear in her back. You both should know. No one wants to fight. D-Drag, just look at her. Just look at her condition, and Albion, I don't know about you, but do you truly care about your host? She didn't eat anything for 2 days. You will be silent or I'll make you. And DDRAIG, don't you dare to say fight her. She has nothing to do with your and Albion rivalry. Issei shouted at both D-Drag and Albion. You silent me, boy. Who do you think you are? And D-Drag even agreed to you, said Albion angrily. As he said, Issei just touched Vali wings and let out some bit of his dragonic energy inside it, making him silent. Vali had just looked at him in awe, and said thanks, Issei-san. No need be so formal. You can call me Eyes. Hey, Vali, come with us, asked Kurumi as she dragged her with her, and they walked towards the restaurant. Issei and girls headed back to their home, while Vali has very nervous face when she was told Issei's grandparents are angels. Issei assured her that she will not be in any danger. I'm feeling a devil presence nearby, said Max. You are right, it is very dark. A devil with this type demonic presence. Must be someone from Old Mao faction. But I'm feeling Issei and rest of girls' energy signatures with the devil, said Luna. Do you think a devil with them? I highly doubt, but if they have better to explain, let's go and greet them and find out what's going on. Yes, let's go. Issei and the girls just arrived at house and saw Ai's grandparents was looking at them, and then they looked towards the devil. They saw she has silver hair. Not only that she is scared gear, a dragon type, a Loginus. And since only 2 Loginus class dragons scared gear created, it wasn't take too long to realize them that the girl in front of them is White Dragon Emperor. Don't tell me you added her into your peerage, Chan Max said, half expected that his grandson will say yes. No grandpa, I know she is cute. I'm not the person who take advantages, declared Issei. First Volley has shocked face when she heard Issei having peerage, but why she didn't feel any angelic or demonic energy from him. But when she heard Ai's call her cute, she blushed hard, and Luna wants to ask something, but Kurumi said something. She stopped herself and listened. Grandpa, Grandma, you should hear her story. After the story, Luna just walked to Volley and embraced her in tight hug. Max's face showing anger at how a devil treat his family. Issei dear, you did a good job. Invited her to live with us, said Luna, still hugging Volley. Volley just melted in her motherly hug, and also stopping D-Drag and Albion fight, praised Max. So she can live with us? Asked Issei hopefully. Of course, she can, said Luna, while letting Volley go out of her embrace. Thank you, I'm under your care from now, said Volley and bowed to them respectfully. I think she should join Issei's peerage, said Max, but cut off by Luna. What are you suggesting, Max? Luna asked as she glared him. Now Volley again heard about Issei's peerage but still can't feel any different energy. She only felt dragonic energy in him. But if she was asked to join Issei's peerage, she'll defiantly say yes. He was too nice to her. She was unknown person for him, a devil no less. He treated her with food, saved her from devil assassination, also offered her to live with him. Don't get me wrong, but think about it. Her demonic energy can be felt by anyone nearby, also she is in Lucifer. If someone tracked her down. Max was cut off in middle when Volley said something that made everyone's eyes widened. Yes, I'll join Ai's-kun's peerage, but I don't feel any angelic or demonic energy from Ai's-kun. So how is he a peerage in first place? Asked a very curious Volley. Max just chuckled and let Issei explain everything to her. Well, me and your grandma have a meeting, so we are going out. We'll come back at night. Till then, why don't you all leave Volley inside the house? Add her in your little peerage and introduce yourself properly, suggested Max. Issei and Rest nodded and walked inside the house while his grandparents left for a meeting. Issei's room. Kanu already went to her home, while Tiamat and Off-Ice was in another room discussing about sudden development. Only Issei, Volley and Kurumi were present in Ai's room. You must be curious about my peerage? Asked Issei, looking at Volley. She nodded and said yeah. I can't sense any type of demonic or angelic energy inside you, Ai's-kun. Because if I'm not an angel or devil, I'm a dragon, and each person who joined my peerage has become a dragon ... and you never heard it about before because I'm the first person who have it. It also hides the person's original species, while the person can easily use his original power as well as dragonic power, and you also got dragonic energy since it turned you into a dragon. Like in your case, you'll become a dragon while it hides your devil heritage, but you can use your devil power anytime, explained Issei. Volley was just watching him in awe. A dragon peerage she never heard of. Of course, I can't. He is the first person who have it. And if I join him, devils can't track me. Also, it show me as a dragon to everyone. And he is a nice guy. If he isn't, the girls with him will have a sad face instead of happy. Thought Volley. Is someone part of your peer? Volley was cut off in middle of her question when Kurumi replied. Yes, I'm Ai's-kun's queen, said Kurumi while hugging Ai's right hand. Judging by look on her face, I can say he is definitely a good person. Not to mention he saved me and took care of me. Without him, I may die, thought Volley. I'll join, said Volley when she has done her thinking. There is no turning away. I asked you again, do you really want to join my peerage? Asked Issei with a serious face and tone when he heard Volley's answer. Yes, I want to, Volley said immediately, wasting no time. She already done her thinking about it. Very well then, lay down on the bed. I'll start the ritual, said Issei. And Kurumi left the room as she was called by Off-Ice through a mental link. She did as Issei instructed. So what type of piece I should use? Thought Issei. Use pawn pieces, Ai's. Since you already used your queen pieces, I think just only one pawn pieces will be enough to reincarnate her. Since Great Red boosted the level of it, your each piece is beyond the level of a mutation piece. Thanks, D-Drag-chan. You are a great help and nothing like that arrogant Albion, mentally said D-Drag. So pawn, muttered Issei as he brought his pawn pieces from one of his personal dimension pocket. Suddenly bright crimson magic circle surrounded her. In the middle of the magic circle there is a huge dragonic face. That also awoke Albion, and he is about to say something but froze at what he heard next moment. Even Volley have same reaction. I, Issei Hayatu, one of the 3 dragon god, hereby ordering Valine Lucifer to join me as my pawn and serve me eternally, chanted Issei. As pawn piece went inside, Volley completely accepted her, and 2 pair of dragon wings burst out of her back. But the color of her wings are white instead of red. Didi dragon god? Volley asked hesitantly. Well, yeah, I'm not just a normal dragon. I'm a dragon god. So that's why you stopped the demonic energy ball with just by one of your finger? Asked Volley. Issei just nodded. But you have boosted gear. How? Asked Volley. She still remembered when he show his boosted gear. Before he could answer Albion spoke. You said you are a dragon god, asked Albion, is he not satisfied with just a nod? Yes, I'm. Great Red confirmed it and also said to keep it a secret until I'm ready. So I'm requesting you to keep it a secret, said Issei. Issei hated to use his father name like that. It wasn't like his father will say something, but he just didn't like to use his father name like that. Volley agreed immediately. Albion agreed too. But Albion couldn't help but still have shocked face. His host is in front of a dragon god. Not just that, also a part of the peerage won by said dragon god. Not just that, the said dragon god also have boosted gear. And he met Great Red. Also he is living with infinite dragon god off ice. What in world was going here? A week later. It's been a week since Volley joined Issei's peerage and now training with Tiamat. Yes, it is true she loved to train, but the way Rhizome treated her, she hated. She hate the person dearly who take her mother from her. Now she's a part of Hayatu household. And the way they treated her, she loves it. No one treated her like that except her own mother. Luna introduced her as her goddaughter and Aiza's parents treated her as own daughter. She was never treated like that before. It's first time she comes to know how is it like to have a real family. Kurumi-san, why you train so hard? Asked Volley when she saw the determination Kurumi was showing during training. Kurumi just smiled and said to protect everyone who dear to me. Volley looked at her at what she just heard. Then remember the whole family moments she had during a week period of time. She understood what she meant and that's brought a smile on her face. I see, said Volley, looking at the sky. Today, Issei was training with Yasaka. That's it for today. Ice-chan, said Yasaka while giving him a water bottle. Isn't it too early? Asked Issei curiously. Yes, it is, but I want you meet someone who can be great addition to your peerage, said Yasaka while giving him 2 paper. Issei took the paper and before looking at them he spoke, maybe. But I won't add anyone just because of they have potential ... to join my peerage. They must have a good heart. I added Kurumi because I knew her from my childhood and added Volley because I found her having a good heart, despite being a devil. I know Issei-chan. That's why I thought you can take care of them. Both are girls. One of them is orphan and half Kitsune. She treated as a demon without her any fault because she is part of Kitsune. One of my personal guard member found her when a mob of people were chasing after her. While another girl is a little bit dark and talk only when necessary, her entire family was killed in front of her, said Yasaka with sad tone. Issei have terrified face. How could someone treated someone like a demon? But he remembered Volley's family and what Volley told him about her family, but he paled when he heard someone entire family members killed in front of her. He have no idea what he'll do if he was in her place. Yasaka continued and spoke. I heard you and girls are going to a summer camp next week, so I want you to take them with you, so you can get them know better. I'm sure you won't disappoint. Oh okay, that'll work, said Issei. Suddenly he saw 2 figures entered the room. The newcomer were 2 girls, both of them was same age as him. One of them have long flowing golden blonde hair was tied into twin pigtails by 2 black ribbons and she had purple eyes that shone with innocence and determination. While another one wears dark blue pants, over which hangs a blue cloth that covers her from her stomach to her knees and which she secures with a purple rope belt. You called us, Yasaka-sama, said the golden blonde hair girl with a bowing. Yes, I want you to meet Issei Hayatu, said Yasaka while pointing towards eyes. And Issei meet Naruki Uzumaki and Satsuki Uchiha, introduced Yasaka while pointing towards both of girls. Yes, I want you to meet Issei Hayatu, said Yasaka while pointing towards eyes. And Issei meet Naruki Uzumaki and Satsuki Uchiha, introduced Yasaka while pointing towards both of girls. Hey there, I'm Issei Hayatu. Issei simply introduced himself. I'm Naruki Uzumaki Tapeo, said Naruki cheerfully. Issei was shocked at her behavior. He thought if she was treated as a demon then her self-confidence will be broken, but seeing her acting like a full of spirit is really surprised him. Chen, named Satsuki Uchiha, Satsuki simply stated, simply in Uchiha traditions. Issei can see the darkness building inside her and he frowned, but knew since her family was slaughtered in front of her. This type of behavior he can expect, but he wouldn't let her fall into the never-ending darkness. Well, girls, I called you both here to talk about your future, Yasaka said with a serious face. Our future? Asked Naruki curiously. Satsuki just stared at her. Yes, you see, both of you moving into Issei's house, Yasaka said to both girls. But, why? Asked Satsuki and Naruki in unison, who scratched her head. Issei just stared at her what she was trying to do and about to ask, but Yasaka noticed his facial expressions and continue, ignoring girl's question. Don't worry, Aiz-chan, I already got your grandparents' permission, so you don't have to worry about it. And then looked towards both of girls while maintaining a serious face. You want to have a family, don't you, Naruki-chan? I'm 100% sure that they will treat you like one. I know Issei family for a long time, so you don't have to worry about, said Yasaka with a smile. Really, they'll? Asked Naruki in a soft and low voice. However, Issei noticed her insecurities about being half Kitsune, and decided to interfere in their conversation. After all, they are talking about his family, and he'll damned if anyone think about his family treat anyone like that. Yes, we'll treat you like a family member, and I'm sure Ka-chan and Tao-chan are going to treat you like their own daughter, just like Rumi-chan and Val-chan. Just don't reveal your true form in their presence, declared Issei. Naruki's eyes widened exponentially as she looked up at Issei, tears slowly welling in her eyes as she dropped the bag she was carrying in shock. Her hand slowly came up to cover her mouth as she couldn't believe what was happening to her right now. Her silent plea for having a family had finally come true, and she was overwhelmed with emotion. Issei stepped forward and placed a hand on one of her shoulders, making her watery eyes look up as she saw compassion, understanding, and love, and a silent message that he would never leave her alone, no matter how impossible it may seem. She thanked whoever that was above for letting her stumble upon having a family in the first place, and for that she was forever grateful. She embraced Issei in tight hug, but before she can say anything, Satsuki spoke. "What will I get if I move into his house?" Satsuki asked as she pointed to Issei while looking at Yasaka. "Don't you want a new family?" asked Issei. "What I want is to kill a certain person," Satsuki stated. Issei about to shout at her, but remember what she went through and spoke in very calm and serious voice. "Tell me, Satsuki-acha. This is what your family want. This is what your mother want you to become, who just care about her revenge and killing instead of find happiness. I'm not telling you to completely abandon the idea of killing that person, but you cannot just forget about yourself. Being broody won't bring your family back." Hearing that, Satsuki's eyes widened. Flashback begin. "Ka-chan," said a teary girl. "Satsuki, don't be picky with what you eat, to eat lots and grow strong. Make sure that you take a bath every day and keep yourself warm. Also, you couldn't stay up too late and you need lots of sleep. Make friends, ones that you could trust. You also need to study and train hard. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses, so you shouldn't get too depressed or frustrated if you couldn't get something right the first time. Okay, sweetie." Satsuki just nodded and spoke. "Don't leave me, Ka-chan. Please, Ka-chan. Satsuki will be good girl. Satsuki won't ask for any more toys and sweets. Just don't leave me. I'll never make troubles for you. Please don't leave me alone," Satsuki pleaded in soft voice, tears prickling in the corner of her eyes. What could she say? She too don't want to leave her daughter too. But was she almost at the stage to dying and breathing her last breath while having her last moment with her daughter? "Promise me one thing, Satsuki-chan." "What?" "Ka-chan, you will find happiness, instead of fall into madness of revenge, and I will, Ka-chan. I will." Flashback ends. How she could forget this? How could she become what she promised her mother she won't? Yet in front of a boy at same age as her, made her remember that promise, not to mention giving a chance to have a family. Next thing what she did was not just surprised him but Yasaka and Naruki too. She smiled and bowed and said, "Arigato, Issei-sama. You just made me realize what I was forgetting and missing. Hope your family will." Before she continued, Issei cut her, saying, "It's our family from now, Satsuki-chan. And please don't use Sama from now, will be family." That bring another smile, and blushed as she heard using Chan with her name on her face. Seeing this, Yasaka smiled and spoke. "Aren't you a charmer, Issei?" teased Yasaka, making Issei and Satsuki blushed while Yasaka just giggled. "So what is your decision?" "Satsuki-chan," said Yasaka. "I will," stated Satsuki, who still has pink blush in her face, making both Issei and Naruki smile, who still was clinging to his right arm like a vice. Don't want let him go for fear he would run off or disappear if she let go. Issei understood what's in her kind, and spoke, "Don't worry, I'm not going to disappear. I promise." That lesser Naruki's worries, and she let him go from her embrace. Yasaka just smile and giggle at their interaction. Both of girls left for pack their stuff, leaving Yasaka and Issei alone. "They know about joining my peerage?" asked Issei curiously. "Yes, I told them yesterday. But I also told them only if not only you but both of them agree to," said Yadaka with a serious tone. "That's why they are moving in," exclaimed Issei. "Yes, you'll get chance spend more time with them. So, you both are lucky, you know. Getting chance with living with my eyes, Kun," said Kanu, looking at both girls who were busy in packing their stuff. "You are telling us like he is some sort of hero." "Kanu-sama," said Satsuki curiously, as Kanu never compliments someone, let alone a boy. "Yes, he is," said Kanu immediately, while remembering how he saved her. "Really, Kanu-sama?" asked Naruki when she heard Kanu. "How so?" asked Satsuki, who didn't know why she wanted to know. She just wanted to know. "Yes, remember I told you I was attacked by some devils." Both of them nodded. "Well, he was the one who saved me from those disgusting creatures." Both Naruto and Satsuki eyes widened at what just they heard. The boy they just met was the one who saved Kanu, as she mentioned the devils that attacked her were strong. After that incident, Kanu started to show deep hatred towards devil. It didn't help as she heard about Volley incident, but that didn't mean she hates Volley. No, she won't hate that girl that become one of her best friend, but she hated Volley's family for treating her like that. "Here I only get chance to sleep over at his house 5 minutes 6 times in a month. While Faiz-chan, Rumi-chan, Tia-chan can sleep with him every night. Heck, Val-chan is now sleeping in his bed. I'm the only one who left out," muttered Kanu. "Enough to heard by both girls." "Sleep with him," started Naruki. "In same bed," finished Satsuki. Both of girls were now blushing red. "You know he is so warm," said Kanu, still in her thought. "That's it." Naruki couldn't take it and fainted. Satsuki immediately rushed to her and caught her before she fell. "Naruki, wake up. Wake up. Damn it. Look, Kanu-sama, what you did." Satsuki shouted, still have blush on her face. When Kanu came out from her dream, found Naruki on bed while Satsuki was shaking her and yelling at her. "What happened, Satsuki-chan?" Kanu asked innocently. Satsuki just looked at her for a minute, then replied, "Nothing, Kanu-sama. We aren't supposed to hear about your boyfriend body being warm when you slept with him. Kanu realized what she told them and blushed heavily. At Hayato Resident Garden. So you are Naruki and Satsuki, Yasaka-san told us about, asked Max while looking at both girls. Hi, Safu-sama, said Naruki with a bow. Luna just giggled and said, you don't have to so formal, sweetie. While patting Naruki's head, Satsuki was just staring at them. Seeing Satsuki, Max spoke anew. I'm Satsuki Uchiha. Please take care of me from now, said Satsuki with a bow. Luna shocked at her voice since she already knew about her past and didn't expect her to behave normal, kind and polite. Issei smiled, which didn't go unnoticed by Max as he spoke. You're doing. While looking at him, and that caught Luna's attention too. Issei just nodded and said, I just help her to remind of herself. Noting else, she was the one who, before he can continue, suddenly a giant ball of fire come towards Issei. Naruki saw this and crash tackled Issei down, but she wasn't the only one who pulled him. Resulting trio fell on the ground, Naruki on the top of him, while the giant fireball hit the near couch and totally burned it. But surprisingly, Naruki wasn't the only one who pulled Issei, Satsuki too. Both of them each side of him too close, making the situation awkward. Issei noticed her eyes glowing red. Satsuki didn't know what was it, but she can feel some sort of attraction towards the boy. She didn't know why she acted this way, but she could let something happen to her family. Luna immediately used her scared gear and froze the remaining couch. Aiz-chan, Naruki-chan, Satsuki-chan. You guys are all right? Asked Luna in worried tone. Suddenly 3 figures arrived there that happened to be Aiz, Tiamat, and Kurumi. Vali wasn't at house at the moment. She was currently training with Amaterasu very hard. She wants to reach her balance breaker, not just for her family too. Kurumi's words motivated her on another level. She too wanted to protect her family, especially Issei, the one who is sole reason why she is feeling this way. Issei just didn't save her, he gave her a family too. And joining his peerage is the best thing she ever did in her life. Kurumi saw Issei was on ground, laying, and spoke what happened. And sorry about the couch. The barrier just broke ... and why was Issei on the ground? Well, dear, your fireball just about to hit Aiz-chan. But thanks to Naruki-chan and Satsuki-chan, he was saved, said Luna in anger tone. Kurumi froze, her attack about to hit her precious Aiz-kun. Oh my god, what Aiz-kun will think about her? What if he hate her for that? What if the fireball really hit him? That thought running on Kurumi's mind. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Aiz-kun, I'm really sorry, I didn't mean it. You know, I can't hurt you even in my dream, Aiz-kun. Please don't hate me. I rather hurt mice. Before she could finish, she was pulled in tight hug of Issei. SSSSSSHHHH. Rumi-chan, I know you didn't do that on purpose, and I'm not gonna hate my cute queen. Thank you, Aiz-kun, said Kurumi, hugging tighter while blushing at his remark of my cute queen. Who are those both girls? Asked Aiz. She wanted to know who tried to save her mate. She knew that type of attack is nothing for her mate, but someone tried to save him without thinking twice. Let me introduce Naruki-chan and Satsuki-chan. Meet Aiz-chan, Tiamat-chan or Tia-chan, and Kurumi-chan or Rumi-chan, while pointing to Aiz, Tiamat and Kurumi respectively when he mentioned their names. And everyone meet Naruki Uzumaki and Satsuki Uchiha, both going to join our family, said Issei while pointing towards them. Kurumi just bowed to them and said, thanks for saving my Aiz-kun from my fire. It's nothing, Kurumi-san. And we are family, and saving a family member is a job of another family member, so you don't have to bow to me, said Naruki. Max and Luna both smiled when they heard Naruki. Hey Chen, said Satsuki. Atsundir. Both Max and Luna thought when they heard Satsuki. Max just chuckled and Luna giggled. Currently, Luna was introducing both Naruki and Satsuki to Aiz's parents at dinner table. I didn't know you were a kendo champion, Mom, said Ken, when he was told his own mother once a kendo champion. You bet I'm, Luna said childishly. It is awkward for them to behave her that, but when she overexcited she behaved like a child. And who is adorable golden blonde hair girl and cutie raven girl? Asked Hitomi while looking at Naruki, who has nervous face, how her new family gonna react to her. Luna saw this and she has a perfect story. Also the story will make them close to Hitomi too. The adorable golden blonde's name is Naruki Uzumaki and cutie raven name's Satsuki Uchiha. Both of them were orphaned before I adopted both of them today, said Luna. Aren't our family getting bigger and bigger after we moved in here? Joked Kai. Yeah, but isn't what we always want? A big family, replied Max. Tin grinned hearing and spoke. Yeah, Dad, but I think Issei is already making a harem for himself and Enfu. Before Ken could finish his sentence, he earned smack his head by Hitomi, of course. Naruki and Satsuki just stared at him at what he was talking about his son, while Issei choked the food he was eating. Luna decided to drop a tiny bomb that will surely help both of the girls to bond with Issei's parents anyway. Another reason is both of them saved Issei's life today, so. Before she could complete her sentence, a yell can hurt an entire mansion. What? Yelled Hitomi and Kai in unison. Issei suddenly found himself in tight grasp of his mother, who checking on him while saying, Issei baby, what happened? Did you get hurt? Somewhere. Tell your Ka-chan everything now, shouted Hitomi, almost having hard time when she found out her little baby life was in danger. I'm fine, Ka-chan, stated Issei calmly and helped her mother to clam down. Luna simply stated he wasn't careful while crossing a road that almost confirmed he was going to get punished without doing anything. much to Issei's displeasure, and then he shot to her with a look of disbelief. She just sold him out. Thank you, for saving my Sachai, said Hitomi as she hugged Naruki. Before Naruki say something, Satsuki spoke. Actually I helped too, said Satsuki as she didn't want to left out. Thank you, Satsuki-chan, said Hitomi as she thanked her too, for saving his son. But she got a hug, muttered Satsuki to herself. Hitomi heard it and smiled and walked to her and brought her in a comfortable motherly hug. It's been a while when Satsuki got a monthly hug her mother used to give her, and she melted in Hitomi hug like a daughter. Luna just smiled seeing Satsuki was getting along too. Before anyone could say anything, Kai spoke. I must thank both of you for saving my son. Let me know if you both need anything, said Kin with a smile. Actually one thing, Kin-kun. I promised Naruki-chan and Satsuki-chan that you and Hitomi-chan can give them, said Luna, while hoping they'll say yes when she asked them. What is it, mother? Tell us, said Hitomi. Kin nodded. Well, both of them are orphans. One never have parents, let alone family, another lost everything. That's why I adopt them, but I can't give them a paternally love. So I want you both to treat them as your own daughter, said Luna, shocking Kai and Hitomi. Kin and Luna looked at each other and then smiled, and looked at Naruki, who was watching them with a nervous face. We'll love to have Naruto and Satsuki as our daughter, said Hitomi, looking at Naruki. Naruki sniffed as she looked up at Hitomi, eyes watery and puffy. Ka-san. While Satsuki just stared at them but remembered the hug she got from Hitomi and smiled. Ka-san, muttered Satsuki. Hitomi just smiled even wider when she heard their words. Yes, Naruki-chan and Satsuki-chan, I am your Ka-san, from now on and forever, she said. Kin smiled and spoke. Your name will be Naruki Hayatu from now. Okay, Naruki-chan. And Satsuki, use Satsuki Hayatu from now as well, asked Kai in fatherly tone. Naruki just cried even harder. Satsuki just nodded. Hi, Haru-san, said Naruki. Now, don't get carried away. We must talk about Issei's punishment, said Kai. Hitomi just nodded, while Luna and Max just sweat dropped. Issei paled, while Tiamat giggled. Volley, Naruki and Satsuki have confused faces. But Kurumi looked towards Issei. As she saw his face, she lowered her head in shame. Issei, simply to say you are grounded for a week, said Kai with a serious face. Hitomi nodded. And no TV, no internet, no games, added Hitomi. Issei just stared at her with a look of disbelief, but seeing how serious she was, he nodded reluctantly. This is the first time Issei was punished for anything, but ironically he did nothing. And you aren't going any summer camp either, said Kai. He don't want to do this, but after hearing Issei almost risking his life wasn't pleased him. He was totally forgetting that he adopted Issei. He was totally his son by all but and the thought of losing him. Well, there was enough reason to he can't let just slide the matter. Max looked at his wife how childish her idea was and caused canceling the SC for their grandson. And he have a thought now, if Issei isn't going then no one. It doesn't matter how much they much want to go there. Since Offeyes isn't going to leave Issei, Offeyes prefer spending more time with Issei above all. Tiamat same reason as Offeyes. Volley won't going to leave them, and as for Kurumi, she'll do anything for Issei. Going on SC will be the last thing she'll do. Let's not do this. They are quite excited about it, said Max. Luna nodded. It's only for Issei actually. Rest can go, said Kai, even he isn't like the idea. But wondering why his father said that he knew that all children are pretty close to each other, but they aren't going to cancel the whole. Can they? Only if he knows. Luna cursed herself knowing how much deeply Hitomi and Kai care and love Issei, and they won't let it slide without punishing him, so he won't do something like that again. But more importantly, Issei couldn't go summer camp this year. The very same thing that made Issei excited when she told him about summer camp, and because of her ridiculous idea of getting Naruki and Satsuki get along with Hitomi and Kai easily caused a family issue, and if doesn't solve easily, it is going to make big situation. Even she knew if Issei isn't going then just forget about rest will go. She did know well that Hitomi will shout at Issei but never thought of punishment, let alone prohibited him to go summer camp. She decided to interfere. I agree with all punishment, but stopping him to go SC inside she doesn't like what was she just said about agreeing about punishment, and if only she knew this idea will backfire she just find another way, but now everything ruined. We know Ka-san, but what Issei did was completely reckless, and we aren't going to change our decisions, said Hitomi. That was the final hit. Kurumi just couldn't take it and suddenly stand up and spoke. It's my fault, so punish me instead of him. He did nothing. It was all my fault and stupidity, stated Kurumi, still lowering her head. Kai and Hitomi just looked at her and saw how much her face full of sadness, regrets and shame. Volley has no clue what was going on, so she decided that she'll ask them later. Hitomi and Kai just looked towards her and Hitomi decided to ask. She meant, what do you mean? Rumi-chan, I was responsible for that incident, stated Kurumi. Issei didn't like what was she saying. Yes, it was her fireball, but that didn't mean he will let her going to face the punishment alone, and spoke. She is just saying so I can go SC, Ka-chan. She has nothing to do with this, Issei said immediately, much to everyone's shock except Kai and Hitomi. That statement made proud Max that his grandson willingly to protect what is precious to him without giving a single thought, but frowned at Luna's idea. Tiamat and Volley giggled mentally at overprotective nature of Issei about them. They knew Issei doesn't show favoritism to them, and if he stands for Kurumi, he'll stand for them too. Naruki and Satsuki now have some idea that what incident they are talking about and how they make it to appear like. but both of them have shocked face when they heard Issei standing for Karumi. Now I can understand why you fall for him, Kanu-sama, thought both Naruki and Satsuki. Offai's just looking at him with a smile on her face. She knew her mate was caring. Luna is now at the point, didn't know what'll she do next, so things go how it's supposed to be. Kurumi just stared at him and then smiled when she understand. He was just protecting her from same punishment. That's how her precious eyes Kan is. But she isn't going to let him take all punishment and spoke. No, Oba-san, it's all my fault. Fine, you both share same punishment for a week along with the prohibition of going SC. Rest can go SC next week and you both can do whatever, but we aren't taking you anywhere, said Hitomi while looking towards both of them. Her heart inside just broke seeing her son and her niece's face. She didn't want to separate children, but what she could do so Issei don't do something stupid next time. Better be safe than sorry. She didn't want to do prohibit them to go to SC. After all, she was the one who suggested it in first place, but she can't let them slide it without punishment. Issei just left the dining room without finishing his plate. Max and Luna didn't like the things just happened. This is the first time Issei left the dining table, but when they except Kai, Hitomi, Naruki, and Satsuki noticed the plate, they found he didn't eat a single thing. Their mood suddenly become regretful. After all, today's food was all Issei's favorite, and he left without eating. I should stop Luna when she suggested that idea, thought Max with a sad face. I just ruined everything. He did nothing and got punished. Luna cursed herself and looked where he was sit before then his plate and frowned, and my poor baby didn't eat anything and it was all his favorite. We aren't liking the idea, but, thought Hitomi and Kai. My Issei isn't going SC or some type of restrictions on him. Who cares? He will do whatever he wants and I'll make sure of it. No one will stop him doing anything he wants, even the entire world against him. I'll stand by his side no matter what the condition is, thought Offai's while Tiamat having the same thought. Too much thinking similarity about their mate, between a dragon king and a dragon god. What the hell just happened? And if my eyes Koi isn't going, then I'm not going to, thought Vali. No, this isn't going to this way. My eyes can just punished for my stupidity and he tried to save me punishment even when I interfered. I'll make it up for him, but how? Thought Kurumi and then looked at Luna with most hateful look. How dare she? I didn't mind if she blamed me for everything, but she have to include my eyes Kan, and then looked at his plate and curiosed herself more. He didn't eat anything. Then she looked at her plate and noticed she didn't too. Her plate was untouched and she didn't try to touch it and simply left the room too, following eyes. Unknown to Kurumi, Luna and Max both caught how Kurumi was looking towards Luna. Max didn't like it a single bit, whatever happening at the table. He can see the hateful glare of Kurumi and knows how much Issei mean to her, and that look will completely break Luna's heart if it didn't yet. Luna is at her worst now. Her stupid idea completely backfired. Not just Issei and Kurumi punished, but when she noticed Kurumi hateful glare she completely froze, like yelling at her, you could blame me for it, but how dare you to include Eyes Kun. He has nothing to do with this. But when she saw her leaving without even touching her food, she just lose her appetite. She can't even think that Issei and Kurumi went to bed without eating. Issei and Kurumi went to bed without eating, and now this is happening. Breaking the awkward silence, Hitomi asked, it's only 8, so how about going out for shopping tomorrow? Naruki-chan and Satsuki-chan. Oh no, it's my first time going shopping with anyone, said Naruki. It's fine, Naruki-chan. How about you, Satsuki-chan? I'd like to if it isn't any problem for you, said Satsuki. Of course, it isn't any problem. I think Offai's-chan, Tia-chan and Val-chan tag along too, said Hitomi. Kai didn't like the idea of leaving Issei and Kurumi, but what he could say. Issei just entered his room. He switched off all the lights in his room and go to bed. What I did to deserve this? Mentally cursed Issei. Nothing. You did nothing. It's your Ba-chan way to make the matter worse. D-drag. Of course. And I'm not alone. Not alone, and where were you that time? Contacting your father, you know. You told 2-chan about it. Yes. ADID, and you know you have nothing to worry about. You inherit primordial power of creation and destruction, so you can do anything by just thinking. 2-chan, is that you? And I know 2-chan, but isn't it cheating? Yes, you're 2-chan, and let me tell you one thing, son, listen carefully. What is it, 2-chan? You can do whatever you want. Consequences be damned. Really, aren't you spoiling him? Spoiling? He is my son. And let me tell you one thing, he can do whatever you want. Anyway, my little dragon god, you know how to make clones. D-drag just shrugged. Issei chuckled at his father behavior. What is a clone, 2-chan? As stated by the name, the user makes a clone of themselves. These clones have a fraction of the user's overall power, but are useful for attacks and other diversions. As expected, they are capable of bleeding and are quite durable. Do you understand? So I can go anywhere while leaving a clone. Yes, you can. That'll be awesome. Now take a nap so we could drag you in your mindscape so we can train you. Hi. Kurumi was standing outside the Issei's room in front of door. She didn't know how Issei will react. She opened his door and found there is only darkness. All lights were switched off. She used her little flame to see around. She found Issei on bed lying asleep. She soon joined him, laying close to him, before covering them with the warm blanket. While gently breathing, Kurumi's arms wrapped around Issei's shoulders, effectively bringing his face into her censored, squashing his face. Smiling dumbly, Issei just went with the soft heartbeat of Kurumi, gently lulling him to sleep. Soon Offai's, Tiamat and Vali joined them. It became daily routine for them. It wasn't like they didn't have their own, but still they loved to sleep at his room. In Dream World, finally did it. Yes, you master the technique, Issei. Me, Eyes, do you want to accelerate your training? Accelerate, you say. But how? I just can't train 24/7. I have other things to do. Someone do it for me. Why would someone do that for me, and if someone else do training it will help him, or not me, said a very confused Issei. It's called multiple shadow clone. Shadow clone require less chakra than a clone. Forbidden. Is it dangerous or something? Why, it is forbidden anyway. So low chakra reverse person can't do it. Huh, but aren't I a dragon god? Dad, I'm not a child. D-Drag chuckled at the scene of how Issei and Great Red interacting. It's truly amusing for them seeing dragon gods acting like this. But he decided to interfere, knowing if he won't, they will continue for the day. Well, Issei, it's called multiple shadow clone. This technique creates copies of the user. However, these clones are corporeal instead of illusions. The user's chakra is evenly distributed among every clone, giving each clone an equal fraction of the user's overall power. The clones are capable of performing techniques, including the shadow clone technique itself, on their own and can even bleed, but will usually disperse after hit by a strong enough force. The clones can also disperse on their own or be dispelled by the user of the technique. But when dispersed, it transferred its memory as well as experience to original. So if I create more, the more they will learn, and when it dispersed, it automatically transformed all things they will learn to me. Indeed, so ready to boost your training. Hi, morning, at breakfast table. All are having breakfast together as their morning routine, but today's everyone mood is a little bit tensed. Because the breakfast table clearly missing Issei, Kurumi, Off-Eyes, Tiamat and Volley. Their thoughts were different at the moment. They all missed. Not a coincidence. Now thing will get worst, thought Max with a sad face. They didn't have dinner yesterday, and now breakfast, thought Luna with a face of full regret. Where are they? They didn't miss breakfast, thought Kai and Hitomi. Looks like Issei overslept, said Max with a sign breaking the tensing moment. Luna couldn't take it and spoke while looking towards a household servant. James, go check on Issei and rest. If they already awake, then bring them here. James nodded and left. But they missed breakfast and they didn't eat dinner yesterday, stated Luna. Kai and Hitomi eyes blinked before widened when they heard last comment. What do you mean by not having dinner? Asked Hitomi, silently praying that she misheard. There will be no way Eyes missed his dinner when it was his favorite. How wrong she was. Kai nodded too. He also wanted to know. You didn't notice, did you? None of them had dinner yesterday, including Issei, of course. Their plates were untouched, explained Max. Hitomi and Kai were thought first that they misheard, but when Max confirmed it at what they heard, it is indeed true. Their face became ghostly pale. Were we little hard on him? Asked Hitomi, hoping that wasn't the only reason. To put it simply, there was no one fault there. I was there and I said no one. Max replied in stern face. Hitomi and Kai blinked before looking at each other. Kai spoke. So we punished him for the first time in his life and he has nothing to do with this. Hitomi recalled the sad face of Issei yesterday. She understood the impact she had on him. Before she could say anything, James entered the room. James, where are they? Asked Kai immediately as he saw James entering the room. Kin-sama, they are still asleep, said James. Kai, Kin nodded while Max just signed. Hitomi still can't believe that she punished her little baby boy without any reason and frowned. Her frown deeper when she recalled the yesterday event. So we have to talk to him and tell him he is ungrounded as well as can go SC, stated Kai with a happy face. How about you take all of them for shopping? Suggested Max. I'm going to then, said Luna immediately, not wasting any chance to make up to her little grandson. A pair of golden eyes opened in response to the sunlight filtering into the large room. Said boy groaned as he slowly returned to the waking world. He felt two warm breaths tickle his chest and smiled at the now common sight of the mop of blonde hair and black hair that belonged to Kurumi and Off-Eyes. He looked at the clock and find it's already 8:30. He oversleep whenever something annoyed him. Breakfast at 8. Looks like I missed my breakfast too, thought Issei when his stomach growled, and it didn't help as he didn't eat anything last night. He stroked their hair gently as he recalled what had happened yesterday and frowned. He checked his surrounding and found Tiamat and Volley were gone. Volley liked to do morning training. As for Tiamat, he heard his bathroom shower is on and he has plenty of idea where she is, and he confirmed it by his dragonic sense. Issei was cut off from his thoughts when he heard Kurumi and Off-Eyes mutter, indicating that they were finally starting to wake up. He couldn't help but chuckle as it was widely known in household that the Kurumi wasn't much of a morning person, and as for Off-Eyes, she didn't care about morning. Kurumi opened her eyes to the morning, looking around the room sleepily before giving a warm smile to him. Off-Eyes gave a warm smile to her husband, mate, snuggling deeper into his chest. How are you feeling, Eyes-kun? Kurumi asked. Tired, and kind of hungry, Issei stated. We missed breakfast too, not to mention we didn't have dinner yesterday, Off-Eyes said calmly, who still snuggling in his chest. I think only I missed, said Issei, not liking the idea of they didn't eat too. It's my foul. Before Kurumi complete her sentence, Issei brought her in a tight embrace and spoke. It has nothing to do with you, my queen. Don't forget it. Given we are grounded and restricted to go SC, but when can fun at home and right Off-Eyes heim. My husband speaks truth, Rumi-chan. I was there too, and didn't find you guilty anyhow. So just forget it, and how about bath together? Then breakfast, replied Off-Eyes. Suddenly the bathroom door opened and revealed Tiamat, who wore nothing but just towel. Issei blushed deeply seeing that, while Off-Eyes and Kurumi narrow their eyes. Seeing Issei's face, Tiamat smirked. Like what you see, Eyes-kun, said Tiamat in very seductive tone, making a seductive pose too. Issei blushed heavily, but before Tiamat teased him more, Kurumi spoke. Cut it, Tia-chan, this isn't the time. Yes, Rumi-chan is right, Off-Eyes stated, who now sitting in Eyes' lap. I already have a plan. But first go take a bath you all, said Tiamat. Suddenly someone opened the door and entered the room. Issei looked at the person who entered his room and spoke with a smile. Good morning, Val-chan. Vali smiled and leaned towards him and gave a pick on his cheek and said, Morning, Eyes-kun, Rumi-chan, Faiz-chan. You guys finally awake, huh? Yeah, we're going to take a bath together. Wanna join? Asked Kurumi. Of course, I'll join. And Off-Eyes-chan, did you cancel the registration of SC? Asked Vali. Cancel the registration? Yes, I already cancelled it last night, simply Off-Eyes stated. Issei looked at her with a look of disbelief and spoke, Why did you do that? Don't you want to go there? In response, Off-Eyes just looked at him and said, I only want to go there because you were going. She is telling the truth, Eyes. We all were agreed to go there because you were going, said Tiamat. You mean, you all are? Issei stared. Not going, finished Vali. And that's right, we already cancelled our registration. Issei is about to suggest them to go there if Kurumi didn't speak. Kurumi already knew what's going on her Eyes' coy mind. She simple cupped both Ice cheeks with her hands and said, We were going, just you wanted to go there, Eyes-kun. Before they will continue, Tiamat cut them in middle. Anyway, I have talked to Kanu and she is coming here within an hour. Then we can discuss about it, said Tiamat. Kanu-chan, it's good to see you again, said Hitomi when she saw Kanu at the door. Good morning, Hitomi-sama, it's good to see you too, replied Kanu politely. Kanu-chan, you at early morning? Asked Luna suspiciously. Kanu may sleep over there many times, but she never visited Eyes at early morning. Tia-chan informed me about changing some plan and asked to come early so we could have breakfast together as well as discuss, said Kanu. Changing plans? What about it? Asked Max. He didn't like the way when he heard the changing plans, and if his guess was right, then it will be about SC. Oh, we cancelled our registration of SC, and Tia-chan asked me come early so we could discuss more, Kanu stated simply, much to Hitomi and Luna's horror. After all, entire SC idea suggested by Hitomi and Luna is the one who told the children. You didn't cancel the registration, did you, Kanu-chan? After all, everyone is going, asked Kai. He was hoping he misheard of something that going to cancel. He didn't think that they already did that. I already did. So Tia-chan, Off-Eyes-chan, Vali-chan did. Last night Tia-chan called me and said Eyes-kun and Rumi-chan cancelled their registration. She didn't tell me the details why they did so, but if they aren't going then I'm too, said Kanu while rubbing her head. She has no idea what her statement will do to them. As she said, she headed towards Eyes' room, leaving Eyes' parents and grandparents with regretful faces. What we have done. They already cancelled the registration, said Hitomi while looking at Kin. And Kin equals Kai. Hitomi gave Kin a nickname that is Kai. So don't confuse between them, both are same person, that is Issei's father. We punished him for no reason and ended up cancelling entire SC, replied Kin. This is all my fault, if only I, said Luna, who lowered her head in shame. Max just left the hall. He didn't like the way things are going. When he and Luna make Kin and Hitomi understand that there isn't any Issei's fault there. They were too late. I think you should take Naruki and Satusuki for shopping as you promised them yesterday. I don't think anyone from Rest will join you as they making plans, said Kin to Hitomi, who just lowered her head and spoke. Yes, you are right. We made a worse decision yesterday, resulting cancelling SC, but if they are going to make plans for summer we must support them. Somehow make it up for Issei. This is first time we grounded him and where he wasn't guilty. If only we think with cool mind and at least give him a chance to explain. As Kanu joined Issei and rest of girls, Vali told her everything what happened yesterday. No surprising, Kanu's face become red of anger. You mean to tell me Eyes-kun grounded and forced to cancel his SC because of things he even didn't do it? To put it simply, yes, replied Tiamat. I'm sorry, I'm the main Riso. Kurumi started to apologize but stopped when Kanu stopped her and spoke. You have nothing to do with this. It's all road crossing incident they mentioned which didn't happen at all. Kurumi get the inner meaning of her word that simply stated it's because of someone used Eyes use as scapegoat. So what plan did you make, Tia-chan? Asked Issei. Oh, Eyes-kun. Always eager, huh? Teased Tiamat, making Issei blush a little, then glare at her and rest of girls glaring as well. Okay, let's finish the breakfast first, then we can talk about it. And Eyes coy, only you are allowed to look me like that, added Tiamat, causing Issei's face go redder than great red, while all the girls glaring dagger at her, so decided to drop it before it'll go out of control. Isn't dining room inside? Why we are going towards garden? Asked a confused Kanu. Because we are going to have breakfast in open garden, stated Issei. Soon they entered garden, a table which surrounded by 6 chairs. The table was full of food, and 2 servants standing near the table, mainly waiting for them to arrive. Here you breakfast, Issei-sama, as you request, said one of them. Thank you, Sai-san. You too, Bani-san, Issei simply stated. Both of them give a half polite now and left, leaving 6 of them. So what now? Asked Vali this time. Issei decided to remain shit, not wanting to get teased more by Tiamat. Oh, I was hoping Eyes-kun going to ask me. I'm wounded. Eyes-kun, don't you care about your lit? Before Tiamat could finish, she hit by everyone killer intent towards her, even Off-Eyes except Issei. Off-Eyes' killer intent is enough for make her shut up. Now you things get serious. You would like to tell us about your plan? Asked Issei. Fine. Did you guys hear about Okinawa? And Issei, if I'm correct, your family own a resort there? Asked Tiamat. Yes, we are. Issei paused and his eyes widened in realization of her idea. Great idea, Tia-chan. You're the best, exclaimed Issei. Tiamat just giggled. Okinawa. Huh. I have to tell Kasama. Also have to take her permission, stated Kanu. Don't worry, Kanu-chan. Isaka-sama will let you go, cheered Kurumi happily. Yes, we got almost a week for prepare. Next week we'll be at Okinawa, said Volley, which everyone nodded. Currently Max is at his study room, thinking about the last night event and Kanu's words. He could help but thinking the possibility of Issei requesting going back to Kyo. He shivered just thinking the possibility. He cut from his thoughts when there is a knock at door. Knock knock, come in. Issei entered his grandfather's study room, and simply looked at him. Max smiled when he saw Issei was the one who came. Sit, Issei-chan. Do you want to talk about something? Asked Max. Yes, Grandpa, we're decided. Can we go to Okinawa next week? Asked Issei. Okinawa, quite a lovely place for summer. We already have resort there. And next week you say, okay fine. Have fun there. Max immediately agreed and given permission, not wanting to cause any more disturbance inside the family. I'll inform Luna, Kin and Hitomi. Don't worry about that, added Max. Thanks, Grandpa. Issei thanked him and left. Okinawa. Huh, let's go there then. I already know Luna and Hitomi will immediately agree to go there with them, and as for Kin, Hitomi alone enough to make him come, thought Max. Max was seated on couch at hall, while drinking tea, when he heard Luna, Hitomi, Naruki, and Satsuki sounds of chatting. He looked at door and find four-figure entering the room. How was your shopping, Naruki-chan? Satsuki-chan asked Max. It was great. We had ice cream there, said a very excited Naruki. We bought stuff for SC too, said Satsuki. Hearing her mentioning SC, Max frowned while Luna and Hitomi just lowered their head. Naruki noticed the reaction and asked what happened. Luna decided to answer her question. Well, you see, Naruki, Issei isn't going there. Hearing it, Naruki and Satsuki face lose happiness too. Yeah, I know. Only Issei isn't going. You punished him and prohibited him to go there. That's not all. When we comes to know the truth behind the incident and finding Issei was innocent, we about to tell him that he can go like rest, but it was too late. You see, Volley, Tiamat, Off-Eyes, even Kanu all cancelled their registration yesterday as Issei did, stated Hitomi with low voice. She wasn't happy when she prohibited him to go SC, and finding him innocent completely break her. She even started to doubt is she a good mother. Well, I have a good. There is development there, stated Max with a smile. Development? What is it? Asked Luna curiously. 1 hour ago, Issei came to my study room and, before he could finish, he was bombarded by Luna and Hitomi questions. What is it? He wants to go somewhere. He wants to SC. Or do something. He is okay nah. Tell us. Luna and Hitomi asked in unison, much to Max's surprise. He never saw Luna acting this way, and who kidding, this matter include her grandson. And a baby son for Hitomi. Well, they wants to go Okinawa, said Max. Okinawa. Didn't we own a high-class resort there? We are going to then, said Hitomi, without thinking twice. Okinawa. A fitting place to spend summer, as expected from my grandson, said Luna before giggling. Well, he is still thinking he is grounded. And I didn't clear misunderstanding because I wanted you, Hitomi-chan, to clear it tonight at dinner table. It started on dinner table, and will end on it, declared Max. At the dinner table, Max, Luna, Hitomi and Kin, Kai already present at the dinner table along with Naruki and Satsuki. Naruki and Satsuki both agreed on going to Okinawa instead of SC if rest are going. Flashback begin. Naruki seating in her bed thinking about whether she'll go SC or Okinawa as Issei suggested, wanted to go. If she continue and go to SC next week, then Satsuki is the only person she knows will tag along, even Kanu-sama isn't going. She was cut from her thought when someone knocked at her door. Come in. It's open, said Naruki. Satsuki-chan, said Naruki when saw Satsuki coming. Naruki, we need to talk, stated Satsuki with a serious face, which Naruki understood. Is it about SC? In changing plan, wanted to going Okinawa, asked Naruki with a smile. She is thinking the same from past hour. How did you? So you are thinking the same? Asked Satsuki. To tell you honestly, I like the way Oni-sama stand for Kurumi-chan. Don't you agree? Asked Naruki. Well, you are right, and seeing the look on rest of them I can easily say he'll stand for them too, stated Satsuki. Isn't he the king? Yeah, and Kurumi is his queen. He even took her blame on himself without thinking twice. He is different king. Instead of building an peerage, he is building a family. I guess you are right. This is one of the reason I agree to join his peerage. You already want to join. Yeah, I want to join Oni-sama's peerage. Don't tell me you don't want to. He treated us like his family. He gave me the family I ever wanted. I felt it when we went to shopping today. I guess. You're right, let's talk to him after dinner. Flashback ends. Issei and rest of girls enter the dining room and find everyone staring at them. Eyes-chan, come here. Come to Ka-chan, said, ordered Hitomi, which Issei followed as Issei went near her. She pulled him to her and forced him to sit on her lap, much to Issei's embracement. Ka-chan, shouted Issei in embracement. His face became little red. What eyes, Chan? Do you want something? What are you doing by suddenly pull me on your lap? Oh, it's simple. I'm going to feed you eyes, Chan. And, she looked at Kin, Kai, who nodded. We are sorry for yesterday, eyes, Chan. Hitomi and Kin said in unison. Sorry, for? Asked a very confused Issei. We punished you for no reason, even we prohibited you to go SC, as Hitomi said, and lowered her head and said we wanted to say sorry. It's okay, Ka-chan, replied Issei with a smile. No, it's not okay. Ka-chan is going to make it up for you now. So Ka-chan decided to take you Okinawa. Not only you but everyone going, declared Hitomi, much to Issei's shock, since he thought only he girls are going. Really? Yeah. And you and Kurumi both are ungrounded, said Hitomi while patting Aiza's head. Thank you, Oba-san, replied Kurumi as she heard Hitomi. Oh, Rumi-chan. Oba-san is sorry, okay. Sweetie, apologized Hitomi. It's okay, Oba-san. Now, Issei, open your mouth. Let Ka-chan feed you. Seiya said, demanded Hitomi, much to Issei's embracement. In the end of the day, everyone have the happy faces. Issei felt someone pull edge of his shirt. He turned around and saw Satsuki and Naruki were standing there. Ruki-chan, Sadu-chan, may I help you with something? Asked Issei. Naruki and Satsuki both have slightly blushed at the nickname Issei gave them. Yes, Oni-sama. Can we talk to you alone? Asked Naruki. Satsuki nodded in agreement. Fine, follow me, said Issei, and indicate them to follow him. He lead them to garden where no one present there. Now Ruki-chan, Sadu-chan. Anything wrong? You both can tell me anything you know, asked Issei in very concerned tone. Naruki and Satsuki both blushed at the nickname, not to mention his concerned voice melted them. Not to mention his draconic presence. Actually, we want to join your peerage. Naruki spoke, looking in his eyes. Satsuki nodded. Huh, are you sure? Asked Issei, not wanting to force them into something which they don't want to. Yes, Issei-kun. We both talk about it and decided to join if only you let us, said Satsuki and smirked. She knew now Issei won't turn her down. Of course, you both are welcome anytime, but before we proceed further, I would like to reveal a secret, and I want complete secrecy on this topic. Asked, warned Issei. Seeing his serious face, Naruki decided to ask, what is it, Oni-sama? You both know that I'm not a human, right? Asked Issei. Yeah, you are a dragon, said Satsuki. Then she looked at his face, which clearly showing there is something else too. Right, Issei-kun? There is something more, Sadu-chan, which you both didn't know. What is it? Oni-sama. Naruki decided to interfere. I'm not just a simple dragon. I'm far more than that, said Issei, who now going to reveal his one of the most secret thing about him. I'm a dragon god, stated Issei. Naruki and Satsuki both froze for a minute. What? But how? Asked Naruki and Satsuki. Well, I'll tell in future if. Issei started to explain he isn't ready for revealed everything, but Satsuki stopped him and spoke. We understand you aren't ready for this and we completely respect your decision, but if you want to tell us anytime, our ears is all yours, said Satsuki, who soon joined by Naruki. Hi, Oni-sama. Satsuki-chan is right. And we still want to join your peerage, said Naruki with determined face. Issei nodded, and complete the ritual make them both his pawns. So both of them joined your peerage, mate? Asked Offai, seated on grass under a tree at the garden. Hi, Offai's Heim. They both joined, and I just told them I'm a dragon god, replied Issei, who lying on the grass, putting his head on Offai's lap, who constantly playing with her mate's hair. So what you want to do with them? Eyes koi, asked Offai's, who enjoying playing with her mate hair. I want to help them reach their true potential. Also, I want you research about their species and proper way to reach their true potential so they will become strong in future, and as for now I'll ask Tiamat to give them basic dragon training. A wise choice, mate. I'll help them in more advanced training when they reach the level of high-class dragon. It'll take 1 or 2 years. For now, dig in their species. You don't have to worry about it, mate. I've already sent my spies to gather information about their species. We'll get it in a day, said Offai's with a smile. Thanks, Offai's Heim. I don't know what I'll do if I don't have you, Heim, said Issei. Offai's giggle and leaned towards his face and give a pick on his cheek and said, probably messing up the things. Time skip, 1 week. The sun was high as the sounds of crashing waves only added to the serene view that was the beach. The sky was blue with only a few clouds in sight. The sounds of people either talking or enjoying the weather at this moment gave the area a pleasant atmosphere. Currently, lying underneath a parasol, Amaterasu was lying on a beach chair, enjoying the gentle breeze, who wore a red bikini that revealed her growing body. It gotten the attention of several teenage males that kept getting a glance at her. When Issei told her he isn't going SC, she asked why. When explained the situation, she was pissed, beyond pissed. Issei swear he never saw something that terrified. He somehow managed to clam her by telling her about Okinawa plan, which ended up her joining in. Lying next to him, underneath the same parasol, was Kuroka, who was sleeping chest down on a towel. She wore a black bikini that revealed her growing body while concealing both her ears and tails. When Kanu asked for permission for Okinawa trip, she immediately agreed and decided to tag along for the trip that made Kanu more than happy. They were watching children except Issei, making a sandcastle. Where's my Atoto? Asked Amaterasu. He forget something in his room, so he went to grab it, said a feminine voice from behind. Amaterasu and Yasaka turned to see Luna and Hitomi were standing there, both wearing sundress and a straw hat. Oh, Luna-sama and Itomi-san greeted Yasaka. Meanwhile with Issei, I can't believe I forgot my goggles at my room. Now finally I get it. I should go back to beach with that. Issei closed the door of his room and walked to the beach. He didn't pay attention to his surroundings, just walking towards where he left his girls making the sandcastle. He accidentally bumped into someone, resulting both of them fell in the ground. Issei looked at the person he bumped into. The said person was a girl with black hair styled in a short bob cut and violet eyes. He stared at for full 5 minutes, the girl doing the same. When they realized what they were doing, they both blushed, and without thinking twice, Issei spoke. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention to my surrounding. It's okay, I was doing the same, said the black hair girl. Issei, name's Issei Hayaru, introduced Issei. Sona, my name is Sona Citri, introduced the girl. Okay, sadly the chapter is over, and if you enjoyed, just leave a like, and subscribe with post notification, so when the next chapter is ready, you will be notified. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye.